And we should be back. Just give it a couple seconds. Hopefully some people come in. We should be back, though. Guys, this couch is nice, man.
Oh, God. It's like he's in my life.
Yeah? Like the couch? Huh?
Well, now you're off the screen a little bit there, Sean. You might want to come back a little closer. All right, there you go.
Chris, you are really short, dude.
I know. Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Terrible short.
I'm actually sitting on. I'm sitting on a stoop. Actually, let me get down for a second. There we go. There we go. That's really me. But thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me on the channel. We've had issues with the internet, but we're gonna get it going. Let's get some people in here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Guys. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Trying this again. This time, Chris.
Fingers crossed.
Chris is streaming this through his OBS. Hopefully that works.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. We'll see how this goes. Yeah. But yeah. So at least we got through. I think at least the Andrew Luck part and the booing. And I don't even know.
Yeah, we were starting to get to the boo part and how it was received, and I think then we were going to probably translate into what we thought Brissett could do and our expectations for the Colts going forward. And yeah, Josh. I mean, let me look at you. What do you think of Brissett? You think he could get the job done over there?
I think Jacoby Brissett can get the job done, Chris, because you see, little buddy, Jacoby Brissett. The last time he was an Indianapolis Colt, under center for an entire season, he had a fucked up situation. We had a terrible offensive line, like I was mentioning before the live stream cut off. But, the offensive line wasn't there, the defense wasn't there, the running game wasn't there, and the coaching staff sucked. None of that is going to be an issue this time, Chris.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it, Josh. I completely agree with you. Now, I don't think this team is headed to a Super Bowl anytime soon. But I think that they're well within contention in that division. I think the Texans obviously are probably a slight favorite now. Jaguars take a bump up, and the Titans are in the race. That is going to be one of the most interesting divisions in football this year. I think it's anybody's division at this point, where before Luck did this, they were probably the clear-cut favorite.
You're a smart guy. You know that? Anyone ever tell you that? I'm telling you now. You're a smart guy.
I appreciate that, Judge. I appreciate that.
I will tell y'all to get a room, but we're already in the hotel room, so...
Yeah, the internet sucks here.
I know. No, yeah. Like y'all said, better coaching staff, better situation overall. Jacoby should do a lot better, and he's looked pretty sharp in the preseason, so I don't see why not.
And you know what? And to all those fans, once again, who booed Andrew Luck, we understand your frustrations, but going as far as slashing his tires, go fuck yourself.
Fuck out of here.
That Jaguars long snapper, he said if you're a season ticket holder and you want a refund or whatever, go sell it to him. He'll take the tickets and then he'll donate it to the Children's Hospital.
Dude, that's freaking awesome of him. If he actually is going to follow through on that, which I think he will, that's great, man.
Yeah.
Get off. Stop touching my legs.
Oh, let me get on Sean's lap. Hold on.
Oh, no.
But no, I agree. That's a really nice gesture of him, and hopefully it all works out. It's gonna be interesting. That division will be really interesting now. I think every team now kind of has holes. The Texans, you still worry about that offensive line. They didn't do a ton to address it in the offseason. Right. The Titans are kind of the Titans. They're kind of like this boring team that is pretty decent in most aspects. I still don't believe in Mariota too much. And then who am I forgetting there? The Jaguars. Jaguars, of course, brought in Nick Foles. We'll see how he plays there. I still question their weapons, but they have a really strong defense. So Jaguars might be the favorite. I wouldn't be shocked now if the Jaguars win that division.
The Jaguars are the favorite. I mean, it could be.
I'm still thinking Texans, man. They won the division last year. People are forgetting about that.
I know. Most people would have the Texans, but I think the Jaguars are well within contention there.
I think, honestly, every single team in that division is in contention for that division, in my opinion. Titans, every year, they just get injuries. Delaney Walker went out the first game.
And the thing about the offensive line for the Tennessee Titans, it hasn't been looking good. Marcus Mariota, he got pulled in that preseason game yesterday because the offensive line, they couldn't block for him. They just couldn't do it. Yeah, they're terrible.
So the Titans are having offensive line issues. The Texans, they pulled Deshaun Watson when they were playing the Cowboys on Saturday after he got fumbled, and they're like, all right, he's out of here. They didn't want to put him at risk.
Yeah.
So
people underestimate how important an offensive line.
It's the most important part of a football team, in my opinion. Other than the quarterback, it's the most important part of a football team.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So it's going to be interesting which team kind of takes that next step and willing to take that next step. Each team has a pretty solid defense themselves. Even the Texans have a pretty solid defense.
What's up, Donnie Couch? With $2 donation says, hear about the Pats starting center blood clot?
Yes.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
Talking about offensive line, there you go, man. That's huge.
Yeah,
apparently everybody's saying fair dog.
Yeah, we were talking about that before we came on the air, and that's huge. Like you said, the center of the offense, and the AFC is starting to getting a little tricky now.
Yep.
I think the Chiefs and the Patriots benefit most from this, and the Chargers. But the Chargers have their own issues. They lost James. Gordon's still holding out. So the AFC is really tricky right now. I'd probably have the Chiefs and the Patriots as the favorites yet again.
Ooh, the Patriots as favorites.
They're always favorites,
Yeah.
right? Like, you always got to say they're favorites. Like, you can't go wrong saying that because they're always in the contention, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many conference championship games have they been in a row? It's record setting, right?
Yeah.
And I also heard Gronkowski said he's probably coming back today. I read that today. I forgot to tell you guys that before we went live.
He's going to come back? Well,
It's not definitive, but he said he was leaning more towards playing this year than not. I had to tell you that before we went live.
Retire. A lot of people thought, he's coming back.
Yeah.
He's going to come back.
Well, there are a lot of people said when he did retire that they said if Tom Brady calls him up halfway through the season, he'd come back.
Mm-hmm.
He's still got that fire, that passion, and competitiveness. It's just more of a health thing. Kind of like an Andrew Luck kind of situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
He retired more for health because we've seen Gronk get hurt almost every other year. And so maybe taking half a year off might be good for him,
Yeah.
So we'll see. We do have a $5 donation from Chris's favorite person, Hellord247. He says, if Drew Brees retired right now, I'd be upset, but would never boo him. Those Colts fans can die along with Chris.
Oh, my God, this guy.
Damn.
That was brutal, Hellord.
I was like, okay, finally, nothing about Chris in this comment, in this donation, and then just that last line just.
Wow, Hellord gets nasty.
Yeah.
But no, that's another guy that they were talking about that they may be interested in is the backup for the Saints via trade is Bridgewater to the Colts. But now they came out and they said sounds like Brissett's their guy going forward.
Yeah. And
That's a smart move.
now Jacoby Brissett, I think he's going to do good this year. I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be okay. And I'm going to go over the schedule because people have been asking, you guys should re-record your coach schedule.
Yeah.
People have been saying record all of them, all the games that the Colts are playing against, all those teams.
Oh my
Re-record this entire season prediction videos.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Fuck that.
We can't do that shit.
We don't have time.
Any idea how long that took to do?
Oh my god.
But if you guys want to, we can go over the coach schedule.
Yeah.
I'll just go from weeks 1 through 17, just say win or loss. Right?
Yep.
All right. Week 1, Chargers.
That's a loss.
That's a loss.
Home or away?
That is at Los Angeles.
Oh, that's a loss.
Okay.
Loss. Yeah.
Week 2 at Tennessee.
Loss.
At Tennessee?
Yeah.
Loss.
Week 3 at home versus the Atlanta Falcons. I'm gonna say that's a loss.
That's a loss. Ooh, fuck.
I'm gonna give him a win.
You're gonna give a win against Atlanta.
Against Atlanta?
I'm gonna give him a win at home.
Okay.
All right.
Week 4 at home against the Oakland Raiders.
Win.
I'll give them a win, but don't sleep on the Raiders.
I'm gonna say that's a loss.
0-4.
Oh man.
Chris?
2-2 so far. I got him as a win there.
2-2. Okay. All right.
No, I'll give him a win right there.
Okay.
I can't give him 3 straight losses.
All right.
Or 4 straight losses now.
I got him the first win. Week 5 at Kansas City.
That's
Loss.
I'm gonna go with the loss.
Yeah, loss.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much to talk about there.
Bye week is week 6. Week 7 at home against the Texans. I'm gonna go with the win
Loss.
off the bye week.
What?
At home.
I'm gonna
against
go.
Texans.
I'm gonna go with a win also off the bye week.
I'm gonna go loss. I'm gonna go loss with there.
I got
Okay.
3-3. Josh got 2-4. Sean got 1-5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Week 8 at home against the Broncos. I'll go with the win here.
I'll go with the win right there.
I'll go with the win. Broncos traveling across the country. Yep.
Yeah.
Week 9 at Pittsburgh. I'm gonna go with the loss.
I agree.
Loss. 4-4.
Okay. Week 10 at home against the Miami Dolphins. That's a win for me.
That's a win. It
Yeah,
should
win.
be.
Easy win.
Offense trash.
Week 11 at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm gonna say that's a win.
I'm gonna say win. That's 6-4 for me. I'm gonna say win.
I got 5. At home against
That's a
Jacksonville.
win. I'll give them a win.
Week 12 at the Houston Texans.
Loss.
That's going to be a loss for me.
Loss.
All right. Week 13 at home against the Tennessee Titans. That's my 6th win.
That's my 7th win.
I'm going to say that's a loss.
Okay. Week 14 at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I will give them their 7th win.
I'm going to give them their 8th win.
It's tough.
Great offense right there.
Yeah, Bucks have a great offense. They can put up points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but their defense can't stop a nosebleed.
Yeah, that's true. But
in the secondary.
Kobe keep up. I'll give them a win. I'll give them a win right there.
All right, Week 15 at the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah.
Loss.
That's a
8
loss.
and 6. That's a loss.
Week 16 at home against the Carolina Panthers.
Is Cam Newton going to be healthy?
I'm going to give them a loss because I've given them a couple of lenient wins. I'll give them a loss there. I'll say 8 and 7.
I'm going to say that's a win.
Okay.
I think even if Cam Newton plays, they have a Leonard. I think he can take.
Week 17 at Jacksonville. I'm going to say another loss.
Loss.
I got 8 and 8. I say loss.
All right, 7-9.
Shit, what was my record? I
think you only had 5,
I
6
think I only had
wins.
5, 6 wins right there. Yeah.
So, yeah, I got 7-9 with Jacoby Brissett under center.
Dude, they have a fucking tough schedule. I just realized how tough
Right.
it was.
Well, their
And
division.
You know, he puts them
over the top.
He's a difference maker. I mean, Jacoby
He's
Brissett,
superstar.
I think he'll be serviceable. I don't think he's going to be terrible, but he's no Andrew Luck.
No, not even close.
Right, Chris?
Tell me about it.
We do have a $1.99 donation real quick from Butcher's Block and Patriots Talk. Thank you, buddy, so much. He said, what do you guys think about the PI challenges?
Dude,
they got to clean this
during
shit
the
up, man.
preseason,
They've
they've been terrible. Right, Chris?
Yeah.
They haven't got it right. I mean, what are they even looking at?
Yeah.
And I when I first made the rule, Josh, I thought it was a good rule. But now they're calling pass interference penalties for every little thing, like they're calling challenges. So now I'm kind of up in the air on it.
Yeah.
John?
Josh?
Yeah.
Let me think here. No. I'm probably
Back
way off.
continue.
No, dude, when I saw this, I remember they called an offensive pass interference on this call. I can't remember what preseason game it was. And then they threw the challenge flag. We're like, okay, this is definitely going to get overturned, right? And they upheld it. Like, it was a clear defensive pass interference. The receiver's coming back with the ball. The guy runs into him. It's just like they got to clean it up and fix. I don't know what they're doing or how they're adjusting it, but I'm completely confused of what PI is now. I'm completely confused.
Yeah. No.
So this is supposed to help clarify and make the game better, but yet it's caused more problems.
Yeah,
So-
and it's kind of like I don't ever like to tie two sports in together, but it's kind of like baseball when they added the replay. Plays that used to be plays that you would like the double play, for example, when the guy was holding the base, they would always give him that little leeway when he was throwing over to first base. It's the same thing now with pass interference. It used to be that you could touch the guy a little bit, and you wouldn't get called for a flag. Now, any little touch, if they say you could basically challenge any passing play, and by the book, it's probably going to be a pass interference.
Yeah. Because think about it, it's like they say in football, there's a holding on pretty much every play.
Yeah.
Every fucking play there's a holding. Some way, somehow. It's just about how much is it? Is it obvious enough where it's going to affect the play or whatnot? That's when the refs throw it. Now you're saying, now this is challengeable, so might as well throw them all or something like that.
I'll tell you, if I was a head coach, I would pick certain points in the game where I would intentionally throw a 50-yard pass down the field and hope for tight coverage so I could challenge a play if they don't call it pass interference.
Yeah.
We got a final donation from Hellord, who says, I disagree with you guys. Luck has carried them since being drafted. Without him, at best, they're a 6-win team. Houston wins the South.
Yeah. Well, I'm right there with you, Lord. That's what I said about 5 or 6 wins.
I had 7. Chris had 8.
Yeah, but you got to realize how, Lord, it's tough because it's Jacoby Brissett, but at the same time, they have a good foundation there. They have a good offensive line. Their defense is a lot better.
Don't forget about the coaching, Frank Reich.
Frank Reich. Wasn't he hurt last year? He's back, right? So they should have a solid team.
But with Houston, Texas winning the South, you could be absolutely right about it. I mean, they did it last year, but also don't discount the Jacksonville Jaguars or the Tennessee Titans if they can get their shit together and be on the same pace. If Marcus Mariota can stay healthy and he could be the guy that we saw, what was it, 3 years ago now?
Yeah.
Something like that, where he was looking pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And they have a good running game with Derrick Henry. He finally emerged last year late in the season.
Yep.
And that defense, I think it could be one of the best in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
So
I don't see why not, man.
This is a make or break year for Mariota, in my opinion. I think this
is it.
Him and Jameis Winston.
Yeah. Both of them.
It's crazy. Both the number 1 and 2 from that draft are both like on the hot seat in a sense. Like, are these guys for real or not? Can they honestly, if they don't perform like they could or should, that could have been one of the worst drafts for quarterbacks in the first round, right?
Yeah.
Neither of these guys might not even be re-signed, you know?
Yeah, which is crazy. But that's the new NFL now. With the way that rookie contracts are at the quarterback position, if you don't perform up to snuff, because they know, if like Dak Prescott, for example, with you guys, he's not even an elite, and I'm not bashing him, but he's not an upper echelon quarterback. He's going to get paid like an upper echelon quarterback. And the way the NFL is nowadays, if you're not playing you have to be above average after your first 5 years to really remain a starter. Because why am I going to sign a guy to a $30 million contract that's not a top, at least an above average quarterback?
Yeah, and being consistent is a big key on that.
Yeah.
Right, we've seen flashes from Mariota. We've seen flashes from Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
But it's not consistent. We don't see it where it adds up in the win column, right? They'll go out and make these plays, and you're like, oh, my God, that's what I'm talking about. And then the next week they just put up a complete dud, right? And you're like, what was that? So consistency, I think, is a key thing in the NFL. If you could stack up wins, Dak doesn't put up great stats, but he wins, and he's durable, and he's there and consistent. Like, he's not going to put up the greatest numbers, but he puts up decent enough. Like you said, you just have to be above average. You don't have to be great in this league.
As long as you have the right pieces around you, you could be successful.
Yeah. Hellord donated $2. I wish they'd call every PI in the NFC title game. Funny thing is they said even with this new rule, that would not have changed the outcome of that game.
What?
How would
you
it
cannot
not?
challenge PIs within the last 2 minutes of the game.
That's okay. Oh, okay.
And that was within 2 minutes.
Oh.
So they said even though they've addressed the
within 2
PI,
minutes.
it would not have changed the outcome of that game.
Huh.
So.
Well, how about you just do your fucking job? You're staring at the motherfucking play. Dead center, like your eyes are right on the fucking play. So get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. We'll get it done the first time. You piece of shit. That fucking call pissed me. That no call pissed me the fuck off.
The Saints should have been.
Don't try to fucking give me all this mumbo jumbo crap later. I'm not even a Saints fan. I'm still fucking pissed.
It's one of the worst calls of all time. Maybe the worst call in the history of football. Non whatever. Yeah, it was really bad.
That was crazy.
But we're just talking about the Titans. You guys see the Titans last night versus the Pittsburgh Steelers preseason? Dude, James Conner looked fucking great. The Steelers defense looked fucking great.
Yep.
Juju Smith-Schuster looked good. He had a touchdown. Dude, these Steelers.
I've been saying it all offseason about the Steelers. I'm picking them to win that division. I think everybody is sleeping on them. They still have one of the best coaches in football. They still have one of the best quarterbacks in football. They still have one of the best offensive lines in football. And they still have a very good defense and a running back who showed he could get it done last year. I don't understand why people are bashing the Steelers as much as they are. I get that the Browns brought in all these fantasy players. But at the end of the day, football is not a game of individuals. It's a game of a team. It's a team game. So the Browns definitely could win that division, but it is definitely not a runaway at all by any stretch.
Yeah. The defense, I think they had, 7 sacks, a takeaway. They didn't give up a single touchdown, only 6 points.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
No, yeah, Steelers have all the potential. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. And the Browns, I was just telling Josh before we started the stream and everything, I was watching the highlights, and they're showing Baker Mayfield's highlights. And, yeah, no Odell Beckham, no Jarvis Landry, but he looked complete garbage with that one. And to me, that's a little concerning. Like, you're going into your second year. I know these guys are a lot better playmakers, right? And they're better players. But you don't want to go out there. This is a preseason game. You don't need to go out there and take those huge chances. You want to go out there, put in good reps, build your confidence up. And without them, that scares me because you see Peyton Manning and all these other guys, Drew Brees, even when their top guy is out, they still do pretty decent. They still can manage the game right. Mm-hmm. So that's what Baker's going to have to learn. You got to take what the defense gives you sometimes because he forced one pass in there and it was clearly should not even thrown it. The linebacker's just sitting there. He threw it right into him. Yeah. Or safety. I can't remember. It's just there's a little concern. I think he's got to grow a little bit. But yeah, like y'all are right. The team and it's going to see how the Cleveland Browns really develop.
And the rookie head coach. I mean, at the end of the day, Mike Tomlin has been doing it for a really long time. Freddie Kitchens, not so much. So that plays a factor too.
Yeah. What's up, Arturo, man? We're doing good, dude. We just went over the Colts schedule a little earlier, so if you want to go back to that and pick it out and see what we think of their schedule prediction now with Jacoby Brissett under center. Hello with $2 donations just kill me. I agree with Chris. Steelers win that North.
We agree on something. Unbelievable, hell Lord.
Oh man. Don't sleep on the Ravens, Lawrence Trent. The Ravens. We just don't. Me and Josh don't believe in Lamar Jackson until I see his passing game really develop. And it's not really can he pass. It's really his footwork and his mechanics. It's so hard to change a guy's mechanics after he's been doing this for so many years, from Pee-wee to middle school to high school to college. And that's the biggest problem with colleges nowadays, is that the simple fact is that a lot of these colleges don't give a shit about developing these players and changing and helping them work on their mechanics or their footwork. All they give a shit about is winning football games. That's what colleges are to help players grow, right? And now it's about just winning games and getting to the bowl games and all this shit. And Lamar Jackson is a clear result of that,
Right.
Yeah.
Andrew says, Josh, you think the Bears can go 13-3, even when this is probably the hardest year for the NFC North competitive-wise? Andrew, I think their ceiling can be 13-3. I think they can. I think they're that good. Defensively, offensively, I think they're going to take a huge stride in 2019 under Matt Nagy. So it's possible, but I would say more like 10 to 12 wins. 10 to 12 wins.
I'll agree with you on that. If everything, yeah, I'll agree with you, Josh. If everything broke right, 13 wins is possible. If everything broke right, but I think
you goddamn right, Chris.
I got them around.
It's possible that everything can go right. Can you say bear down? Can you say the Bears?
The Bears, but I got them right around 9 wins personally. I got them as a 9 or 10 win team, right in that range,
Okay, all right, yeah. I mean, the Chicago Bears, dude, a lot of eyes are going to be on them this year. A lot of eyes are going to be on Trubisky this year.
I think this is also a season to see if Trubisky takes that next step.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's no excuses anymore, right? There's no John Fox. Now they're opening up the playbook. The second year, Matt Nagy. Now let's see.
They got the right weapons for him. Mm-hmm. For wide receivers, tight ends. The running game is going to be there. Offensive line is going to be good, especially in the interior. Mm-hmm. So the defense behind him, great coaching staff.
He has all the tools.
Yeah, unless we get hit with the injury bug, this is going to be a goddamn good team.
Mitchell Trubisky has all the tools in the world. All the tools.
The one thing I'll say about
I can't wait for that Cowboys game.
The one thing I'll say about after I watch your prediction video, the Bears' schedule to start is very favorable. Yeah,
first 5 weeks. Yes.
Yeah, at worst 4-1. You guys should go those first 5 games.
Oh, of course. If we lose to the Raiders or the Redskins, I'm gonna be fucking irate.
It can happen. It can happen any given Sunday, but
fuck that. Now, if we lose to the Vikings, okay. The Vikings are a damn good team, right? Mm-hmm. Packers, I'm going to be pissed off. I think we're better than the Packers. I think we're more talented than the Packers.
You're better.
And we're at home, season opener. Oh, you're going to see me lose my shit.
If y'all lose an opening night, I'm literally going to laugh in your face.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. I don't think that's a gimme, that Packer game.
What?
I don't think that's a gimme.
It's not a gimme.
You guys should win at home, though. I'll agree with that.
We're at home.
Yeah. We
were pretty much dominating them until they gave, fucking, what's his name, Aaron Rodgers, that Michael Jordan fucking juice from Space Jam. And he came out there. I mean, did you see that post-game interview? He was fucking, his eyes were dilated. Yeah, he was like in a whole other universe.
It was done.
I call bullshit on that game. He was on something. He was on performance-enhancing drugs.
He's probably on some adrenaline. They probably pumped him up with something. He was.
If Kyle Fuller would have just caught that fucking ball.
What should he have done?
Just squeeze that shit. Just squeeze it, and the game's over. We win that game.
Yeah. $5 donation real quick from Hell Lord. This is for you, Chris. It says, honest question for Chris. Do you believe if Eli were to leave and sign with a team with good pieces, he could be a good quarterback once again?
Yes. I do believe that. It depends on. I said it in my video. If he went to the Colts, Eli Manning would be a good quarterback. I'm not saying he's going to be, Aaron Rodgers, but do I think Eli Manning can win with the right pieces? A team like the Colts with the best offensive line in football from a year ago, if you could provide him the protection, give him weapons, plus he'd be playing indoors where people now question his arm strength. That's the first thing I thought of when I heard the Andrew Luck news, and I know it's not realistic, but I thought that would have been a perfect fit for Eli Manning. He goes to play where his brother played his whole career before Denver, plays in a dome, plays with that great offensive line, with that great coach in Frank Reich, the great offensive mind. I thought Eli Manning would thrive there as soon as I heard that news. And if I was the Colts, I would at least kick the tires on it. Personally, I think he's a better guy than Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, Eli Manning, I got to give him this. Like, when you put a solid team around him, he knows how to manage the game. Like, he's not a Tom Brady or Peyton Manning or Aaron Rodgers or these guys. Obviously, he's beat those guys. But, if you put a good defense with him, a good running game, and some weapons to throw, he can make every throw on the football field, right? Yeah. I've seen that plenty of times. So, as a Cowboy fan, I've seen it plenty of times. But, yeah, if you put a team around him, he can do good, I think Eli's one of those guys that he's got to have the pieces around him. Now, can he carry a team on his own like a Peyton Manning could, his brother, or Aaron Rodgers? No, but he
not
could
anymore. At one point in his career, I think he could. Not anymore, though. Yeah.
That would be some poetic shit, though, if he somehow made it to Indianapolis and, like you said, played on the team that his brother played for.
That would be crazy.
Gets to, the AFC Championship game versus the New England Patriots, and Eli Manning kicks the shit out of Tom Brady. Goes on to the Super Bowl, and wins it.
Well, dude would have to have both of them.
And he were to win it this year in Miami, where Peyton Manning won his Super Bowl against the Bears in Miami.
That's true.
Let me give you a scenario. It doesn't sound like it's going to happen this year. They're saying they're going to go with Brissett. But let's say the Colts do what I said. Say they go 8-8, and they're kind of middle of the pack. Eli's gone on the Giants, right? He's a free agent. Giants don't sign him. And they're not picking that high in the draft. They're not getting 2 at 8-8. They're not getting Herbert at 8-8. Maybe they sign Eli on a 1 or 2 year deal to go and play with the Colts next year. I wouldn't be shocked with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible, dude.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate it.
No.
I would love it because I love Eli, and I think that would be a chance for him to win. I would love it, to be honest.
Now, do they do that, or do they say, okay, how about we play another year, maybe try to even trade for next year's first-round pick the following year and try to get Trevor Lawrence? Do you want to sign Eli for maybe in a year or two, or try to get Trevor Lawrence in the draft in a couple of years?
Wait, are you saying the Colts should tank the year before going into the draft?
I wouldn't say
Trevor
tank,
Lawrence,
but try to trade for that first overall pick. I mean, we've seen
but here's what I'm going to say about that, and I completely get your logic, Sean. Trevor Lawrence is the type of prospect that if you are in that position and you need a quarterback, you wouldn't give up. You wouldn't take a whole draft for that pick because they're saying that this guy's going to be he's the most highly touted prospect since Andrew Luck. So if I have the first pick and I need a quarterback, I'm not trading out of it. I'm taking Trevor Lawrence.
Well, yeah, it probably all depends on what team has the first overall pick,
right?
right?
Yeah.
So
it's kind of hard to bank
play
on that.
A huge factor.
Yeah.
So, or maybe they could trade up and try to get Justin Herbert in this upcoming draft, right? So, he's also the Oregon guy. A lot of people are high on him, and so it's interesting.
It's all dependent on the draft, I guess. But I'm saying if the Colts didn't take a quarterback in next year's draft, maybe Eli makes sense there. Just a hypothetical.
Yeah, of course. There's so many different ways they could go. Like, do they want to take a guy for a couple years, or do they want to not really hit the reset button? If they can bring in a good young, if they can find a way to trade and get a good quarterback. And the thing is, though, there's a lot of quarterbacks even going second, third round that are still doing pretty solid in the NFL, you know? So maybe you can even get a guy later in the draft, you know?
Oh, for sure.
So you never know. You don't always have to go for that top prospect, right?
Yeah.
So it's just something to kind of think about. Oh, yeah, Fromm also. I totally forgot about Fromm from Georgia.
I'm not a Fromm guy. A lot of people like Fromm. I am not. I mean, I know he's going to be a first-round pick more than likely. I am not a big fan of Fromm. But I know he's up there. You know, he's one of the top 3 or 4 prospects.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, Jake Bada said the same thing. Lawrence might be the best prospect since Manning or Luck. Both of those guys were one of the 4 sure picks that you had out there, pretty much.
T-Web says Josh Whataburger tonight or pizza? I don't know, man. Probably neither. Did you guys hear about John Gruden saying that he doesn't think they're going to trade Trent Williams after all?
Jay Gruden, you mean?
Yeah, Jay Gruden.
Jay Gruden? I was like, John.
Did I say John?
Yeah.
Jay Gruden.
Jay Gruden? Well, of course he's going to say that. He wants to try to get his left tackle back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't want to hurt his trade value either. You don't want to seem desperate.
Yeah.
But at what point do you fucking make a move? You sign him, you don't sign him, you trade him. What are you fucking doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. They try to call his bluff.
There's a couple of guys out there on supposedly on the trade market. You've heard Laramie Tunsil of the Dolphins also, but now the Dolphins are kind of saying we're not going to do it. You've heard who was the pass rusher? Clowney. You've heard about Clowney. The Texans looking to trade him. So there's been a couple guys out there.
They opened up talks.
Yeah, it sounds like they're looking to actually trade him.
So I don't think the Redskins are going to trade for Clowney. Hopefully not. I'm just saying that as a Cowboy fan. I hope they don't. They get Clowney. That would be bad for the NFC East. Yeah, but no, I don't know. Like now, actually, the Redskins could possibly trade for Clowney. You know,
I don't think it makes sense for the Redskins personally.
Well, has Dan Snyder done anything that makes sense?
No, that's a great point. but if I'm a Redskin fan, I look at it. I'm not winning this year. So why am I going to give up future assets to acquire a guy that I could potentially? I don't know their cap situation, but why am I giving up future assets to get?
Well, are you? If you're thinking about it, you're trading away Trent Williams, who's not going to play for you.
Oh, so you're just saying a player for player trade. You're just saying okay. All right, that might make sense because I was thinking of a Giants.
That's how I look at it. Like Redskins trade Trent Williams for Jadeveon Clowney, right? But
that might make sense. That might make sense.
Shit, the Texans, they were to get that on their offensive line.
They need it. Whoo! They need that shit.
Shit, man. Deshaun Watson, MVP right there.
Yeah. That would solidify what? Because I said I think he's going to be MVP. So that solidified my pick. But yeah, we'll see what happens with the trade. I think there could be some big time trades happening the next week or so. Because the Dolphins, like you said, the Dolphins with Tunsil. They also said Kenny Stills and Kiko Alonso are also on the trade block. Right. They're hitting that full reset button. They don't care.
They're tanking. That's as clear as day. The Miami Dolphins are tanking. They're trying to get Tua or whoever at next year's draft. But what's funny is they traded for Rosen. So maybe I don't know what they're doing over there. I don't know what the hell Miami's doing over there.
Miami is, they're like, I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Well, I think at this point, they're like, okay, we tank and maybe we can get a good offensive lineman for him, a weapon for him, maybe a good running back. Well, are they really sold on Drake? I don't know. But I don't know at this point. They know they're not going to win the division. They know they're not going to do shit, so why not get as good of a draft pick as possible? Maybe they get the first overall pick and they trade him to the Colts and get a bunch of other picks from the Colts. I don't know.
There you go. You're thinking outside the box.
But everybody sitting here, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate y'all, even dealing with the technical difficulties that we're dealing with. Make sure you guys smack that like button for us, and go subscribe to the Entertainah Talking Sports if you haven't already. The link's in the description box down below. And we have a $2 donation from Hellor. Says, Sean, you think the Zeke situation is going? How do you think the Zeke situation is going?
Well, so came out, I think, Saturday that apparently that they finally actually started talking. So this whole time, Zeke and his agent, they've been sending him offers. They have not responded at all. They've been just completely keeping him in the dark. Like, they're not even giving him any kind of thought process or anything. Well, apparently after they offered him the second most money, then he declined it, but apparently they started talking. Stephen Jones says, okay, we finally started talking, and whenever you start talking, that's when you find out what they want, how they're feeling, and then deals usually get done within days or hours. So you never know when it could get done, but he said he's very optimistic that it's going to get done. So I am still holding out on I'm very optimistic, but it's making me more nervous by the minute.
I still can't believe he hasn't signed that deal. I mean, if they're offering him the second most money of any running back, what the hell? What does he think he's going to get? I mean, he's crazy.
So I read a report today, and this is probably why he's feeling like so apparently Stephen Jones, this is before free agency and all this, Stephen Jones came out and said, oh, yeah, we have no problem paying Zeke what Todd Gurley got paid, more. He said, that's the market. We don't feel we're not against paying him that. Well, Then Le'Veon Bell comes out and fucks everything up and only signs for $13 million. And so now the Cowboys are like, well, that's the market. And $13 million is the market. Isn't that Le'Veon Bell just got signed for that?
Right.
So now they're like,
I heard Mike Fisher on 105.3 here in Dallas. He's the official guy for
he is the guy
for the Dallas Cowboys. And what he was saying, he's like, look, we're not gonna let the Cleveland Browns, the Los Angeles Rams, anybody else who's paying these guys an outrageous amount of money. He said this is what the Cowboys are thinking.
Yeah.
They're not going to let those teams and what they're paying guys determine what they do in Dallas.
Yeah.
They're going to say, Zeke, you're not going to get Todd Gurley money. What he got was an outlier, according to him.
Yeah.
This is what they're thinking again. They're thinking that was an outlier. No fucking way are you getting that money. So if he doesn't get Todd Gurley guaranteed money, is he going to sign or not? If he's not going to get that money.
See, that's tough.
Because according to Mike Fisher, they're not going to do it.
Let him sit out. Let him sit out week 1. Talk about it.
No.
And maybe he'll come back week 2. I'm fine with that. Let it think it over. Because
we don't need him for the first 3
Zeke
weeks.
might be gambling. Zeke might be gambling. He might be like, listen, if I sit out week 1 and we lose to the Giants, they're going to be desperate to bring me back. And maybe that's his thought process. He might be being selfish, or maybe if they win but they look poor, maybe that's what he's thinking.
Yeah. Zeke is kind of holding, because right now, with Zeke, Cowboys are a Super Bowl contender, definitely. I don't think anybody can deny that with Zeke. Now, without Zeke, it's tough for us. I think we're mid-of-the-pack team. I'll admit that. We're 8-8 probably. Without Zeke, without one of the best runners. We have a tough-ass schedule this year. We need Zeke.
I'm actually going to disagree with you on that. I think you guys are still a playoff team without Zeke.
Without
Tony Pollard looks good.
Yeah, with Tony Pollard though, I don't think he's going to be.
He's not Zeke, but
he's not going to be that.
He's pretty good.
So I think he can still make yardage, but just those crucial runs that you need to extend drives is where I'm concerned. So it's just going to be interesting how they address it, and how we look. If we does sit out those first 3 games or first game or so, how do we look running the ball? Because our whole offense is built off of running the ball. Mm-hmm. And even our defense has benefited from us running the ball, keep them off the field.
Of course, yeah.
And so it's all going to play a factor.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with everything you said. I have a lot of respect for this Cowboys team. I love the way they built the team. With Zeke, I think, like you said, you're one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the NFC. Without him, I still think you're a playoff team. I still think you're like a wild card team. I think, you don't win the division. But I still respect the hell out of your defense and the offensive line. And I think Pollard behind that offensive line. Go back and look at DeMarco Murray. DeMarco Murray led the league in rushing behind that offensive line. The next year he went to the Eagles, he was finished. Now, some people said that he didn't fit in with their system, whatever. But at the end of the day, I think you could fit in. You could put on. That's why whenever anybody brings up Zeke versus Saquon, I take Saquon because I feel like you could put almost any decent running back behind that line, and they're going to perform pretty well. And I think that's the leverage that the Cowboys have. They could say to Zeke, listen, we're still going to have good production at that running back position even without you back there.
I say I'll counter that though, and I understand that argument. But this is the big thing. We tried that. We tried that after we let DeMarco Murray go. DeMarco Murray was a good running back, and Chip Kelly, they ran out of shotgun way too much. Yeah. He's not a shotgun runner. He's a downhill runner. Right? He needs to have a head of steam. Now, with Zeke, we tried going with we'll just do Darren McFadden, Alfred Morris, right? Hey, Darren McFadden ran over 1,000 yards. Oh, damn, he still ran it for 1,000. But, yeah, we still only won 4 games that year. Why? Because we couldn't convert on 3rd and short. We're the worst team with the best offensive line. No injuries to our O-line. Still the best offensive line. Younger, too, obviously. We couldn't convert in 3rd and short and 4th and short. We're the worst team in the NFL with the best offensive line of that. Because when you have to rush at 3rd and short and 4th and short, when the team knows you're going to run the ball, you need a running back that can fall forward and break at least 1 tackle. Unblocked.
Yeah. Well,
Tony Pollard, I'm sorry, he's a small guy. He's not going to be able to do that with these 250-pound linebackers when he's only $180. He's not going to be able to break those tackles. So what that did, that made shorter drives. We couldn't extend drives. That means our defense is on the field a lot longer. They get more gas and time. We had a decent defense that year without DeMarco Murray, but they're on the field twice as long they usually are. So that hurt our team even more. So I I understand that logic of having a great offensive line, but you got to still have that running back behind to make that one guy miss.
Oh, yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. You guys are a much better team with Zeke, but I still think you could get by with the piece you have and compete without him. And, we'll see. Not compete for a Super Bowl, though. Not compete for a Super Bowl, though.
Because with Romo, with a bad offensive line, with a decent defense, we won 4 wins. That's it.
I'll tell you this: if you guys do make the playoffs without Zeke, that money that Dak's gonna want,
it's gonna be paid.
Yep.
That's why I say pay Dak now before it goes up. Because if we do go to the playoffs, it's gonna be solely on Dak's progression as a passer.
But it could be the reverse effect, too. If you guys do bad, it goes up for Zeke, it goes down for Dak. So
true.
Exactly. But that's why Zeke is holding out, because he's looking at like, shit, if Dak gets paid before I get paid, then I'm probably not going to get that much money. So he wants to get the money now. Even though, because that's why he's holding out, even though he's got 2 years left, right? Because if he doesn't get paid now, he probably won't get paid in a couple years.
Right.
He won't have that money.
And also talk about you guys getting paid since we were last live.
Yeah.
That last week you guys re-signed a guy.
We re-signed Jalen Smith. Which apparently
some people were like, "How the fuck do you re-sign Jalen Smith before you sign guys like Zeke and Dak and Amari Cooper?"
He gave us a discount. He gave us a discount where he's not hitting our cap as much as people thought he is. So luckily he took, even though he's probably one of the best young linebackers in the game, he took third most guaranteed money, I think it was. And look, C.J. Mosley got 51 guaranteed, and this was this offseason, and he only took like 37. That's a bargain.
No, Jalen Smith's a great player for you guys. I think it was the right move. I think, like Josh just said, though, people were surprised because everyone's attention is on Dak, quarterback. Sew up the quarterback, sew up the running back and Zeke, and they went out and did that. But at the end of the day, it was a good deal. You got him on a pretty affordable rate.
And another thing, I think had NFL Network on before we Skyped you and when we got on here. A lot of people are forgetting the CBA is up in 2 years. They can opt out, I think, this offseason, but the CBA is up in 2 years. So Dak has 2 years left on his contract. What if these 2 years go and then there's another holdout? He's only getting paid. He's barely getting paid these next 2 years. Right. So he's going to have to hold out and not have any pretty much only living off these next couple of years, which he's not getting paid hardly shit.
Right.
So that's probably why he's wanting some kind of contract right now.
Yeah.
So get paid now before the CBA and they go on a fucking hold. Get that guaranteed money now so you can live off that shit if it goes on a holdout.
Yeah.
We got Hello with the $2 donation says you need Zeke week 4. # who dat.
No doubt.
Of course, he's a difference maker in that situation.
I see us losing either way, but yeah, that'll make it a lot better of a game.
Me too.
Yeah, to beat top tier teams, you're not winning without Zeke. Yeah.
No, definitely. No. Definitely not. Those coin flips, Zeke makes a huge difference. So.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I still think you'll beat up on the Redskins without him. You'll probably beat up on the Giants without him.
Yeah.
I don't know the rest of your schedule, but I still think you're like a 9-win team without him. You're probably more like an 11 team with him. Something like that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Donnie Couch wants to know, is this the last year of the Andy Dalton era? I'm asking as a Chiefs fan.
Yes.
Could it be? Sure, it could be.
I think so.
Could be.
I just don't see it.
It's been long enough.
Yeah.
I think it is. And they drafted Finley, who's looked pretty good in the preseason, the rookie quarterback. So, yeah, I think it's the last year. I think they're doing everything over. They got rid of their coach. They brought in a new coach. Dalton's not his guy. He was Marvin Lewis's guy.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think they will bring in a quarterback. I think the Bengals are going to be one of the, if not the worst, one of the worst teams in football this year. So they're going to have an opportunity to take a guy, if it's not Finley, to replace him next year. I'd be shocked if Dalton's back after. I don't know his contract, but I'd be surprised if he's back after this year.
Yeah, and these coaches, when they come into a new team, they always want to go out and draft their guy, right? Because at that point it more ties you to them. And Andy, no offense, but Andy Dalton hasn't won a playoff game his whole career.
Yeah,
he's made the playoffs, never won. Like, this is probably, honestly, this year for Andy Dalton is not for his starting job in Cincinnati. I think it's for a backup role somewhere else, or maybe go into the Colts maybe next year.
That's another name.
Someone like, this is his tryout year for possibly his future jobs because it's not going to be in Cincinnati.
Cincinnati ain't going to win nothing this year. It doesn't even matter if he plays good. I mean, that division's way too tough, and they don't. Yeah, I agree with you. Dalton's off the Bengals after this year, no matter what.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Big Money. I think Big Money finally wants to let him go.
Refund says, without him, Cowboys are 8-8 and miss the playoffs. There are a lot of teams that will have above 8-8 records that won't make the playoffs this year. And somebody was also talking to your point about that year with Darren McFadden. He was saying that the offensive line was younger and everything, but one difference between that time and now is your defense at that time was shit.
It wasn't as bad as people thought, though. Like, it was worse because they're on the field. If you go back and rewatch that season, our defense held up for the first, 2.5 quarters, halfway through the third. And then they were so gassed that they couldn't do shit.
Not on the level of this defense, though. I mean, your defense this year is top 3, 4, 5 in the league.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And we had a decent defense at that time. We actually did. Because if you go back and look at some of those other games, when we had Romo and DeMarco Murray, they were doing pretty solid. But that's also because they didn't have to be on the field for 40 minutes a game.
Right.
Obviously, I'm exaggerating. But, they weren't on the field for fucking over half the game.
And as a Giants fan, that's the same problem we have. What'd you say?
As the time of possession is huge for defense because that helps keep your guys fresh, D-line fresh. They can rush the passer, stop the run. It's all that combines. We've seen that from when that game against the Broncos a couple years ago when Dallas got destroyed. Our time of possession was trash again. We didn't run the ball. We didn't stay on the field, and our defense looked horrible. Was our defense horrible? Oh.
Yeah, it's like a boxing match. Over time, if you keep giving them body blows, eventually the guy wears down at the end of the match. And as a Giants fan, I've seen that for years. Our defense may not necessarily have been that bad. It's just that our offense couldn't win the time of possession because we couldn't run the football. And last year's a perfect example. Giants lost the game at the end of the Kamara broke a big run with 5 minutes left with the Saints. Adrian Peterson broke a big run with us against the Redskins at the end of the game because the defense just wears down. And the Jaguars, too, did it. So... you're absolutely right. A defense's best friend is a ball control offense.
Ham says, I think the Bengals compete for a playoff spot this year.
Oh, I didn't know he did stand-up comedy. That's hilarious.
Ham, I don't know why you would think that, but I would completely disagree with that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this as nicely as possible. The Bengals are the fakest 6-win team in the history of football last year. They should have won maybe 3 or 4 games. They had the worst ranked defense. They gave up the most yards, the third most points. Their offense was ranked 26th. I know they had a couple injuries, but that is a bad football team. 5 wins at most this year, in my opinion.
Yeah. Completely agree.
Ham says Bengals could make the playoffs, but the 49ers are not going to make the playoffs. 49ers got a lot more going for them.
They do.
Than the Cincinnati Bengals, and I think the 49ers do make the playoffs.
We didn't even mention A.J. Green's not starting the year. Their best player.
That's true.
Yeah, he could be out. They say he's only going to be out 2 weeks, but
who knows?
We'll see.
Yeah.
And then once he comes back, he's always been dealing with injuries. Who knows how long he'll stay?
How many years has it been? 3 years? He's been dealing with injuries.
Yes.
There's a reason he fell to the 9th round in these fantasy drafts. Let's get real here.
Mm-hmm.
This is A.J. Green we're talking about.
What do you think about the San Francisco 49ers? I don't know if you saw the 49ers season prediction video, but I got a lot of shit for being so optimistic.
How many wins did you have? 10 or 11? What did you have? 10 or 11?
I think they're still going to be 12-4.
Oh. Whoa. I know you like the 49ers, Josh.
I think the 49ers are going to be better, but I don't have them winning the playoffs or winning the division.
So
it all rests on what you feel about Jimmy G. I know you two guys aren't that much high on Jimmy G. Well, not high on him. You're in a wait and see mode with Jimmy G still, right?
Yeah.
But turn your fucking head around. Chris, will you tell him something?
Well, you're talking weird shit, so I want to be weird too.
But I'm very optimistic about Jimmy G.
Yeah.
And to go with that offensive line, to go with that front seven, the secondary, which was very underrated last year. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is a damn good 49ers team. It really is. I think they can win.
They can.
Games.
They can.
I don't think
you
they can win
don't.
They cannot. I'm saying it right now. If everything breaks right, they cannot win 12 games. The 49ers.
Even with everything striking right, they can't do it.
I think they're.
Not with the Rams.
I would say 10 or 11 wins if everything breaks right. I think everybody is jumping all over the 49ers bandwagon. I think they're America's team right now. I get it. They drafted.
Whoa! Don't be throwing those words out there like that. Okay?
They drafted Bosa. They got Ford. I get it. Garoppolo's back. They got some weapons.
Bosa might not even play week 1.
What?
Bosa might not even play week 1.
Who cares? They're playing fucking Tampa. Then they're playing Cincinnati.
Hey, Tampa's got that high-powered offense. You better get to Jameis Winston.
Niners will win.
I mean, might not even have to. He might just give you the damn ball.
They'll win between 7 and 9 games this year. The Niners, between 7 and 9 games.
Okay.
That's kind of where I had them, right? I think their ceiling is right up there. You know, I agree that if everything goes right, they could be a good team. But it's just Rams still have that division, in my opinion. Rams number one offense, right? One of the best offenses. They have fucking a great defense with Wade Phillips, so it's like hard to.
Oh, they're still a great team.
I'm gonna give it to the Rams.
Don't forget about the Seahawks too.
The Seahawks. Seahawks.
They shocked everybody last year. So.
But I think they finished third in that division.
I might have finished in third as well. I just don't think the Niners will be as good as you think, but I could see the Niners getting 9 wins, coming in second in that division.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I can see that too.
$2 donation from Lord says, is what he does, Chris, hashtag AK41.
It's what he does.
Oh, he was talking about the big run I was alluding to when they played the Giants. Alvin Kamara.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, broke the run at the end of the game.
But,
Whoa.
no, what happened?
Roach is a 7 ? Chris Honey, no. Why do you call Chris Honey? Roach.
7 is their basement. I think I'll say between 7 and 10 wins. 7 and 10 wins.
But he called you realize Rocha just called you Honey.
It's all right.
Like,
I get it. A lot of men call me Honey. I get it.
Weirdo, Rocha. But no, yeah. I mean, I think that's fair to say what you said, Chris. With your win total. I mean, and that's because you're still waiting.
I mean, 7 wins is still what, a 3-game improvement?
Yeah. They won 4 games last year, and they were 4-12. Yeah. So okay, that's fair.
I'm gonna have them at 8 or 9, but I said their basement 7.
If the 49ers win 11, 12 games, if they go 12-4, which is my ceiling.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You guys have to bow to me.
Oh, I am bowing to
you guys have to bow to me.
All right. And if the Packers win the division,
I'll buy you a Jimmy Garoppolo jersey, so you can wear it.
And what do I get? What do I get when the Packers win the North?
Oh, okay. All right. So Chris thinks the Packers are going to win the North. Everyone in the comment section, what should I have to do for Chris, or what should I have to give to him if he ends up being right about the Packers winning the North? That's a good one. Okay. All right.
So that'll be the bet. If the Niners win the West, I got to give you something. If the Packers win the North, you got to give me something.
All right. Agreed.
Okay.
Agreed. Bet.
This way. Yep. Let me get both in.
All right. Yeah, okay. Alex Sports says, if I lose, I got to get you a Daniel Jones jersey. But did you already get one?
I do not have a Daniel Jones jersey yet.
Okay, so if you haven't gotten one by the end of the year, I'll do that. I'm down for that. I'll get you a Daniel Jones jersey.
And if you he burnt your Trubisky jersey.
Yeah. Well, you see, Chris, there's a lot of great players on the Bears offense, or defense. So I can figure out a player for you to get me.
All right, that's what we'll do. We'll do a jersey for jersey bet. If the Niners win the division, I give you a jersey. If the Packers win the division, you give me a jersey.
What if y'all are both right?
Huh?
What if y'all are both right?
Then you got to give us both jerseys, Sean.
No, I'm not saying. Does that cancel out?
I like that.
Or do y'all fight each other in the jersey stuff? Don't bring me into this. I'm so here, mind my own business.
All right, that I will agree to that. If I win, you owe me a jersey. If you win, I'll owe you a jersey. And if we both split, then Sean owns us both a jersey.
Okay, I'll buy you a Aaron Rodgers jersey. I'll buy you a Prescott jersey. We're good.
All right, it's all a deal. Okay,
it's a deal.
Now, another team that I got a lot of shit for, Chris, in the season predictions videos. so far. And I think there's another video that's going to come out where people are going to give a shit.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I have no idea.
But the Oakland Raiders, people feel like I'm way, way too optimistic about the Oakland Raiders. I got them going 8-8. I think 7-9, 8-8, ceiling of about 9-10 wins is what I have for the Raiders. I say 8-8.
Okay.
Do you think that's way too optimistic? What do you think about the Raiders?
Okay. I probably have them like 6 or 7 wins, but I don't think 8-8's crazy. They play in a tough division. There's no doubt about it. With the Chiefs and the Chargers, the Broncos are no pushovers, especially in Denver. That's one of the hardest places to play in the league. But they definitely improved their offense. Obviously, they added Tyrell Williams, Antonio Brown, Josh Jacobs in the draft. They added a lot of weapons on the offense. Second year under Gruden, maybe the offense plays better with Carr. Defense is still a huge question mark for me. They still, obviously they haven't replaced Khalil Mack. They brought in Calais Farrell in the draft, and they drafted somebody else in the first round for the defense. I can't remember off the top of my head. Jonathan Abram, good safety.
Love that.
Yeah, so they're definitely going to be improved. I'll say 7 wins, but I don't think 8 wins is crazy.
All right, I'll take that.
I think I had 5.
Yeah, I think you have like 5 wins.
I had 5.
And you
see, this is my logic though behind it, because this happened to us a couple of years ago. Is that we saw the Hard Knocks for Tampa Bay. We're like, man, this is looking good.
But I didn't give them a win record.
We got excited though.
I didn't give them a win record.
We got amped up about them.
And
then they shit the bed.
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't want to fall in love just because I'm watching Hard Knocks where they're editing and making them look good and all this stuff. They still had a lot of distractions in the offseason to me with Antonio Brown shit. Derek Carr is still a trash-ass quarterback. He can't play in the cold weather on the road.
Here's what I'm going to say about Derek Carr. Here's what I'm going to say about that. And I'm not a Derek Carr guy. This team won, 13 games a couple of years ago with Derek Carr as their quarterback?
Yes.
Yeah, that's when they had the best offensive line in football.
No, he got hurt. Chris.
Yeah, they had the best offensive line in football that year, and then the next year, they're trash. Offensive line.
I'm not expecting them to win 13 games. I don't know if they'll be a laughingstock like some people were kind of hinting at with your prediction.
Now, in no way am I letting Hard Knocks, cloud my judgment.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I didn't let that happen with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, I said they were going to be shit, and they were shit. Now, with the Oakland Raiders, we got to find out from Hellboy says, I now understand your name that we can, that would an entertaining joke, Chris, allow Bears rule the North.
Oh, yeah. He's saying because the Entertainah Talking Sports, he's entertaining us with jokes that the Packers going to win the North.
Thank you for the donation, man. But no, man, more and more, day by day, I've been following a lot of the Raiders. Almost I just really am, gravitating towards this team. I just love everything about it. I really like John Gruden. I love the offensive weapons. Hunter Winfro, that dude looks amazing in the preseason.
That's the guy at Clemson, right?
People are comparing him on the Raiders team, like Jonathan Abram, saying, man, this guy, he looks like a Julian Edelman type guy.
Oh, yeah.
And he does. I mean, this dude was amazing at Clemson.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't he catch the game-winning touchdown for Clemson last year?
Yeah.
Dude's great, man. And then you got Keelan Dodge, who's making plays. You got Darren Waller, who John Gruden called the X Factor. This is a guy who's only played 18 games as a tight end so far, and he's really turned his life around. Mm-hmm. And this dude, everyone's going gaga over Darren Waller as well.
Yeah,
and
it's been phenomenal.
Man, they got fucking weapons on both sides of the ball. I think they can really surprise people. You said 7 wins. I'm good with it. I think 7 wins would be great.
The one thing I will talk to Sean's point, especially when you watch Hard Knocks, preseason, training camp, everything is positive. And Hard Knocks amplifies that. I mean, as a Giants fan, I know everybody's saying Daniel Jones is doing this. And he's looked good in the preseason, don't get me wrong. But everything is always positive. You hear very few negative comments. So I will say sometimes Hard Knocks could definitely influence your decision-making. But I think the Raiders are obviously an improved team. They had 3 first-round draft picks. They bring in Antonio Brown. So I don't get why people don't think they can't win 7 or 8 games.
Yeah, dude.
Derek Carr is my biggest thing.
Dude, I even had Raiders fans tell me, nah, man, it ain't happening. We're going to fucking win 4 or 5 games.
And they got a brutal schedule,
and I'm like,
too.
dude, come on now.
They have a brutal
I know they got a brutal schedule. I do.
A lot of when I was going through there were so many games where I saw Derek Carr on the road and in bad cold weather places, and like I said, he's literally they showed a stat. He sucks, just complete garbage. Like one of the worst quarterbacks in cold weather in the NFL.
Well, we were talking we were talking about quarterbacks on the hot seat. There's another one.
Yeah.
That Jameis Winston, Mariota, Carr, those are probably the three, and Dalton. Those are probably the four biggest quarterbacks on the hot seat this year, playing for a job for next season. And Eli Manning, throw him in there for two.
Okay. Yeah. Well, hell yeah. Especially when you got a guy like Daniel Jones, who's looked fucking amazing. Every time I see Daniel Jones,
he's looking good
on the NFL field. He's making plays.
Yep.
He's looking good.
25 of 30 so far in preseason. He's going to get his first start against the Patriots next week. Now, it's going to be second team. Patriots won't be playing their starters, but Daniel Jones is Eli's going to start the year, but Daniel Jones has certainly put pressure on Eli Manning. If Eli Manning does not perform well the first 4 weeks, Daniel Jones will be the quarterback very soon. He's put pressure on Eli, which I like. I like that.
Now, the Oakland Raiders. If Derek Carr shits the bed with this team, you guys are saying he's on the hot seat. That's it. The Derek Carr situation is over.
Yeah.
Do the Oakland Raiders, okay, if Derek Carr's situation goes bad, you're probably looking at maybe 4 or 5 wins, like what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
Do you trade up and get the number 1 overall pick, get a quarterback in this upcoming draft? Because they got draft picks. They still got a Chicago Bears draft picks going into this year too.
They have some good draft picks. They got a lot of, and remember they still made a couple more trades in the draft, right? So yeah, they could trade up and get a quarterback. Which one?
I doubt they'll still be worse than the fucking Dolphins.
No.
The Bengals might go for a quarterback.
Yeah. No.
Dolphins might still, even though they got Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. No, the Raiders. Yeah, they could possibly, if Derek Carr just doesn't pan out, maybe they go out and get a guy. Now, if everything works out, if Derek Carr plays better and has those weapons, they could easily win 7, 8 wins, 9 possibly. They have the weapons. I just don't trust Derek Carr just from the past. So,
or the defense. The defense.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I don't like their defense either.
Yeah, I like their piece. I love Abrams. Oh God, I really want Dallas to get him, and they drafted him with our pick. I'm still crying. I still am internally about Jonathan Abrams going to them, but I like what they're doing with their defense. LaMarcus Joyner, I think they also got him right. So Burfict, they've gotten good pieces. Yeah. So it's just putting it all together now.
Yeah, I think they're maybe a year away.
Shit.
I think they're a year away with that defense. I agree with you that they're building.
Still away. Yeah. Exactly. But they added good pieces. It just takes some time. Defense takes some time to develop.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. We got $2 donation from Donnie Couch. The Seahawks 8-8. I'm not crazy. Thoughts, Josh?
Crazy's Seahawks going 8. Yeah, very well could happen. Yeah. I think they could finish third in the division.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I gave them like 9, 10 wins, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
I still think they'll be like second. I think they'll be competing second in the division with the 49ers.
Okay.
The Seahawks surprised us last year. We thought they were going to be a trash-ass team, and then they go out and win 10 games and make the playoffs. Like, nobody saw that. I didn't see it coming.
No, I didn't either. I thought
we got shit up every fucking pickup. We were like, Seahawks are going to lose this game.
Yeah.
And next week they won, and we're looking stupid.
I was really shocked because everybody questioned that offensive line going into the year. I was really shocked at how effectively they ran the football last year. And we said this last week with the Seahawks. They are a simple team to know how they have to win. They're going to have to do the same thing they did last year. And if they can do that, they can win 10 games again. They have to be that ball control offense just like last year.
And their defense was still a damn good defense, surprisingly.
Yeah.
I thought losing Cam
losing a lot of the guys like Legion of Boom
and Richard Sherman.
But I'll go back to your point about what you said about the Cowboys. The reason probably why their defense would look better than you thought is because of the ball control. They had the ball more than anybody else in football because they run it 53% of the time. If they can do that, it'll help the defense.
Exactly. That's very true. Yeah. I'll take a rested defensive player over a more talented player that's gassed.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Effort is 90% of it, man. You gotta have the effort, and you can't put in effort if you're exhausted.
Right.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Jesse has a good question. He says, Saints or Rams? Who is more likely to have a step back, disappointing season? Saints or Rams? I mean,
it's a great question.
I would say, I don't know. I would probably say, that's tough, man. I would go with the Rams. I would go with the Rams because of that division, because of what I think the 49ers can be.
But the Saints division is just
the Falcons are pushovers. Falcons are not pushovers.
I feel like I buy more into the Saints this year than the Rams.
I'll agree with you. The Saints to me have been the best team in football over the last 2 years. Plus, the Rams run the risk of having that Super Bowl hangover. We've seen teams do that so many times. When you lose that Super Bowl the next year, the Falcons, I mean, so many teams, when they lose that Super Bowl, they don't play well the next year. So if I had to pick one, I would say the Rams are more likely to suffer this year.
And someone just brought up the Gurley situation.
That's exactly what I was
going to say. And the Gurley situation.
I was like, I'm going to have to say the Rams just because of the Gurley situation. Like that, his injury, it's still such a mystery. If that arthritis is going to play a factor, how big of a factor? It's going to play a factor, but how big of a factor is it going to play? So just that alone, they have to regress because Todd Gurley is a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Alvin Kamara, we know he's healthy. He's good to go. He's a monster.
Right.
So I took him overall.
The only way the Saints regress this year is if Drew Brees regresses. And it could happen. He's 40 years old or something like that. Yeah. That's the only way, in my opinion, that they really take a big step back.
But the Saints, though, man, Cam Jordan had a huge year last year. Nobody really talked about him. He had a great year, Cam Jordan. Obviously, they have Marshawn Lattimore, that young corner. They have good pieces over there in Saints, their defense. Everybody talks about their offense, but their defense is still pretty solid over there.
The defense is very good.
Mm-hmm. Man, Carolina Panthers, Cam Newton, that situation. He was today. He was at camp. He wasn't practicing or anything like that, but he was throwing the ball around. The walking boot is off.
Yeah.
What do you make of the Carolina Panthers and the Cam Newton situation, dude? I mean,
that's their whole season. That team You can make an argument, other than Aaron Rodgers, that no team relies more on their quarterback than the Carolina Panthers, and their whole team is on his shoulders. And that's the only way that's going to be a good football team. He has to get back to the Cam of old, and it's possible, but with the injuries, I think it's very unlikely. But no team relies more on their quarterback, other than, like I said, the Packers, than the Carolina Panthers. He is such an important player for them.
His ability to run the ball changes everything. That opens up the lanes for Christian McCaffrey. That opens up the passing lanes for DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, behind those linebackers, so they have to bite, right? So his presence on the field changes everything for that offense. Right. So if he's not there, Christian McCaffrey's a great back, but we've never really had to see him being the guy without Cam Newton, right? We kind of started towards the end of last year, but it's going to be tough. More pressure on Christian McCaffrey, those receivers, and stuff like that. So it's going to be without Cam Newton, that whole season's done.
They're saying right now he's cautiously optimistic to play Week 1 versus the Rams.
Yeah, we won't know until a week prior.
I don't know. Would you want to put him out there Week 1 against that D line that the Rams have? Aaron Donald getting to him?
Not if he's not 100%. Definitely not. Definitely not. He's not 100%.
I wonder if they're just saying cautiously optimistic because they don't give anything away. Because you got to remember, these teams love to play those fucking mind games, man. Maybe it was in that series they put him in that walking boot just to be cautious, and now if he's out of that walking boot, then obviously it's fine to be able to put pressure on it, right? So I'm wondering if they're playing that down to the Rams, so the Rams are thinking maybe they don't have to face them.
And I really hope everything works out for Cam Newton's health because, dude, man, I'm loving the weapons that he has out there. Outside of Christian McCaffrey, I'm loving DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel. I mean, these are two guys. Curtis Samuel, I really love. He could break out this year.
He's having a great camp. Yeah, they're saying he's looking more. He was just more of a speedster. Now he's looking more like a
all-around guy.
Yeah. But you know what? Talking about Cam Newton's injuries, though, I want to bring this up. I think that's another guy that we'd be shocked to see him retire earlier than we think.
Cam Newton?
I could definitely see that. And I think the Panthers clearly are not showing long-term faith in Cam Newton. They drafted Will Grier in the 3rd round. So they are definitely they're definitely preparing for life after Cam Newton as a possibility.
Well, because thing is what is it? Last season, the beginning of last season, he was getting hit and they weren't throwing penalties because he's getting these huge hits because he's a big guy. So these guys do have to throw more of their body on him more versus these other quarterbacks, right? And these reps understand that, and they're not throwing the flag as quickly as they would with a Drew Brees or Tom Brady, you know? So he does take a lot more punishment than any other quarterback in the league when he takes hits.
Quarterbacks are not meant to play the ways that he does. It's fun. It brings another dynamic to your offense, but at the end of the day, give me a pocket passer any day of the week over a player that plays like him.
Yeah. Or give me a guy like Russell Wilson that knows how to avoid the hits, you know?
Right.
That doesn't take hits. He can play like a Cam Newton in a sense, but he knows when to slide or get out of bounds. That's if you're gonna play that style, you got to know when to just give up.
Right. I mean, you look at Steve Young. Steve Young's kind of like a Russell Wilson, but Steve Young suffered more concussions than almost anybody. It's why he had to retire probably a lot earlier than he thought he would have. We don't know what Wilson will have to deal with later in his career if he keeps playing like that. And you're just not meant to play that way as a quarterback. You're just not long term.
I hope hopefully his career doesn't get cut short, but with all these injuries adding up, man, it gets concerning.
Yeah.
Right. We got a $2 donation from Hell Lord. It says, correct answer, fellas. Hey, Chris, it's finally our year. Talk about the Saints.
I like the Saints, man. They're my pick this year to at least make the Super Bowl. I feel bad for Saints fans. Not so much Hell Lord. This guy picks them here every chance he gets, but
Yeah.
but no, I feel bad for Saints fans. Some of the stuff that they've had to deal with over the last 2 years, it's been brutal. I mean, they easily could be back-to-back Super Bowl champions, easily.
Yeah.
They're really cool.
And see, I'm cheering for Drew Brees more than anything. This guy's been a true professional. He's been great for the fucking town of New Orleans themselves. I'm cheering for him. I want him to win another one. It's like when you wanted Peyton to win that next one.
Yeah.
I want him to win.
When it comes to likable guys, I mean, he's right up there with J.J. Watt. I mean, what's not to love?
Terrible
guys,
stuff.
Such
a nice guy.
Yeah. Drew Brees is hard not to root for.
Sometimes I hate these Saints fans. Sometimes I love them. But not really hate them, but because we had a lot of Saints fans here in Dallas. Because after Katrina, a lot of them were relocated to Dallas.
Right.
And I would hear "who dat" everywhere, especially after they won the Super Bowl. I'm like, God, stop! Like, I swear I saw more Saints fans come out of the woodworks when they finally won. I was like, fuck, man! Like, this is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like either way, I love to see Drew Brees win another one, man. It'd be awesome.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Please make sure you hit that like button. Let's get to 100 likes. And if you haven't yet, please go subscribe to the Entertainah Talking Sports. The link is in the description box down below.
Yeah.
Go subscribe to them.
Yeah, see?
Now, one of our moderators, Chris, has a good question. He says, who is the least talked about team in the NFL? Who do you think is the most least talked about right now?
You mean like in terms of like they're a sleeper, a team that I think could be better than a lot of people are saying, or just like doesn't get any press at all? Like what
doesn't get attention. Is just not getting attention right now.
Doesn't get attention.
Not getting attention, and rightfully so.
Right. I'd have to
I'm trying to shit about Miami.
Let me look at the list, team.
Oh, let's see. Detroit. Detroit's not getting talked about a whole lot.
Detroit's a
and
good
they
one.
should be talking about Detroit.
Detroit's a good one. I like Detroit. I like Detroit a lot. They're just in the wrong division. Detroit's a very good one. I'm trying to think of another one, but I do like that. The Steelers. Doesn't seem like many people are talking about the Steelers as much as I think they should.
They're all too busy talking about the Browns.
Yeah, the Steelers are another one for me.
Well, I know we've been talking about it, but I haven't really seen a lot of national media on Atlanta.
Atlanta Falcons? Oh, yeah, that's true.
National level, I haven't seen a lot.
Yeah, that's true. Not a whole lot of attention going towards Atlanta, even though they are one of the most balanced, well put together teams. And if they're staying healthy, their fucking games just as anybody else's.
I'm just trying to think of all the teams.
Maybe the Vikings. I mean, the Vikings don't seem to be getting a lot of love. A lot of people showing hate for them. They were a Super Bowl pick by a lot of people last year. So Vikings are another team.
The Cardinals. No, we were talking about the Cardinals.
Pretty much every time we turn on the TV to watch a preseason game, it was only Cardinals.
Kyler Murray.
I was like, enough. I want to see other teams.
Someone said the Tennessee Titans, Buffalo Bills.
I was just about to say Titans. Yeah.
Buffalo Bills are one of my sleeper teams this year. I like what they're doing over there. I like the Buffalo Bills this year. That's a good call. And
honestly, a lot of people quiet on the Jags.
Yeah, because they're kind of vanilla, right? They don't got those weapon guys, but they got a defense. There's no difference. Everybody talks about the Ravens because of their history. Jaguars are probably a better football team than the Ravens are.
Yeah. Well, think about it. Just I mentioned this. 2 years ago, they were literally a quarter away from the Super Bowl. Like they were dominating that whole game until the fourth quarter, and then Tom Brady came back. Right?
I think I agree with that. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are a better football team than Baltimore Ravens.
Oh yeah. No.
But people talk more about.
They won the division last year.
Yeah. People talk about the Ravens because of their history, and I get it, but you got Lamar Jackson at quarterback. You lost a couple of pieces on that defense. Still a very good defense, but the Jaguars got stronger on defense. They brought in a quarterback in Nick Foles. I think the Jaguars are a better team than the Ravens, but not like you said, not a lot of people are talking about them. They're kind of flying under the radar, and they got stronger with this Luck, retiring.
And I like that. I think that's better because we saw Leonard Fournette last year. He even came out. Leonard Fournette even came out, I think, a week or two ago. He said last year was a gut punch, man. I think what he meant is that they got a little too cocky. They were literally a quarter away from the Super Bowl. They got a little cocky, like, yeah, we got this, and they got punched in the mouth. And so it's humbling. I think that's the word he used, humbling. And that's what they needed, probably. Leonard Fournette especially. We saw him act a complete ass and fool last year multiple times, right? So, and then obviously his injuries. So I think the humbling, and then Jalen Ramsey, even he's changed his tune. Jalen Ramsey before last season, ranking all the quarterbacks, he's trash, he's garbage. This year they asked him the same thing. He's like, I'm not answering that. He changed his tune, So they kind of, I think they've learned their lesson not to be too outspoken. Just focus on what you need to do.
Yeah, keep your eyes open for the Jaguars this year. They're dangerous.
Oh yeah, I'm excited about it. Oh God, Chris. Hell Lord, $2 donation says, well, time to put out the hit on Chris.
Damn.
Hell Lord makes me laugh. He's a funny troll.
Right.
I would suggest you not to ever go to New Orleans, Chris. Okay?
I'll have to stay clear of New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to be safe. Wear disguise.
He's going to order some gumbo. It's going to be Hellord who cooks it. Yeah. He's going to be the chef.
Just put on a mustache or something, and you'll be good. You won't recognize it.
What's that drink they're known for in New Orleans? The Hurricane?
What's that?
I think that's their famous drink.
Oh,
they make like a hurricane there or something like that.
Hurricane Katrina. That's what caused.
Well, not that. No, I'm talking about the drink.
Oh, the drink.
Yeah, don't they make like a hurricane? That's their famous drink there. I'm being serious.
That makes sense. They get them. You should know how to make them. They get them all the time.
Jason Morgan says, hey, Hell Lord, I'll go halvesies on that. God damn, Jason. Who's an Eagles fan?
Well, that makes sense. I say this to all the Eagles fans out there because all I hear from Eagles fans is, and I know I'm going to get hate from Jason Morgan. All I hear from you guys are you're going to go 13-3, 14-2. You guys are going to go 19-0. Eagles aren't going to lose a game this year. They're going to go 190-0 over the next 10 years, and they're going to rename the Lombardi Trophy to the Doug Peterson Trophy. I think you guys are unbeatable. You guys cannot lose a game.
That's so fucking true, dude. That's so fucking true.
And they all, I swear, and they always think they should go after every single guy that's on the trading block or free agency.
Mm-hmm.
Should we pull the trigger?
We're getting Tredavious Clowney. We're getting Trent Williams.
Yeah. Like, where's all this coming
from? No, that you didn't hear. They get a $500 million salary cap. Everyone else gets about 200. They get 500.
More than anybody else.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That is so true, man.
Arturo is saying, guys, talking about his Colts, going back to that real quick. He says, guys, we could go after Rosen if Miami gets Tua. So if Miami tanks or whatever, and then they draft Tua from Alabama, maybe they trade Rosen to the Colts.
Man,
you know what?
I feel terrible for Rosen, dude.
I feel bad as he's bouncing around, but you know what? I think Rosen would actually look good in that offense. Actually.
Oh, he could. He looked pretty good in that last preseason game.
Yeah, he's actually good over there in Miami.
Yeah, he was making some plays, man, even on the run too.
Yeah.
Rosen's got the tools. Where we're about with Rosen is up here. He's got the tools. He's kind of a little too outspoken for me, but he's got the tools.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Miami isn't taking. They're just bad. They're rebuilding that team, but I feel like they don't have a true direction on where they want to rebuild to.
Where are they starting from? They don't.
Yeah.
All I know is they completely rehired the new coaching staff with nothing but ex-Patriots.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. Brian Flores is the new head coach.
Probably not the worst of ideas, but ex-Patriot, assistants haven't done that well on their own, but probably not the worst of ideas.
That's true.
Yeah. I can't. Who's the best one? That's ever.
You had Romeo Crennel. You had Charlie Weiss, Romeo Crennel. What's the guy?
Is it Bill O'Brien? I know he has
Bill O'Brien. Eric Mangini.
He's won the division.
He's won the division.
I think Matt Patricia could be the best, maybe.
Matt Patricia or the guy in Tennessee.
Vrabel.
No. Yeah.
Oh, I love Vrabel.
Well, he was a player.
Vrabel, yeah.
He's more of a player. So.
Yeah, he
Was
coached
he
with the
coach?
Texans. He coached with the Texans first.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, he played for the Patriots, coached Texans, and then now. Okay.
Yeah.
Entertainah's Moss says Titans are a sleeper to Chris Senior. What's up, Chris Senior? So Entertainah, your Moss is in the chat, and he's saying the Titans are a sleeper team.
Yeah, the Titans are a team that I think myself and a lot of people sleep on every year because they're not great at anything. They're just kind of like but they have a pretty well-rounded roster. They just don't have a lot of superstars.
But you know what's crazy is that literally me and Josh say that every year, and they don't do shit for
I'm saying it again this year. They're gonna be good.
We swear to God,
One of these years it's gonna happen.
Year. Titans, man, they got shot, man. Yeah, every year it's like, yeah, then no.
I don't believe in them. I don't believe in Mariota. I don't believe in Mariota. That's the problem.
I don't blame you.
I don't blame you
at all.
I think he can be good, but it's just he's got to stay healthy.
Yeah,
and I can't blame him either because he hasn't had literally every year he's got a new offensive coordinator.
Right.
Every year.
Well, that was the problem with Alex Smith had that same problem. His first 6-7 years in the league, he had a new offensive coordinator every year. Then he finally got some stability with Harbaugh, and his career took off because of it.
Exactly. So I wouldn't put it all on Mariota.
Yeah.
It's consistency there. That obviously he's getting banged up a little bit. So I think if Derrick Henry can run the ball, I think that offense is gonna. I think it all depends on Derrick Henry. If Derrick Henry can run the ball and not put all the pressure on Mariota, then they'll be fine.
I like Henry a lot this year, actually. I think Henry's going to be I wanted to draft him in our fantasy league. I think you took him. Somebody took him right before I was going to pick. I like Henry a lot this year. I think he's going to have a really good year.
Can't remember. We did so many drafts. I'm really big on Henry, too. Yeah. He's going to have a breakout year. They already said they're going to run him into the fucking ground.
What's up, Bobby Woodruff? How you doing, man?
Bobby!
Big Gil. That's a good question. He says, which team in the NFL going into this year has the best wide receiving corps?
I'll tell you what PFF said, and I completely disagree with it. They said the Eagles, and I couldn't believe it.
Fuck that.
I would go with the Falcons, maybe.
Falcons. I would say Falcons. Tampa Bay. I love them too.
Vikings have a good receiving corps.
Cleveland in there.
Cleveland.
Odell and Jarvis.
The Rams.
The Rams. Yeah. I'm trying to think who else.
Let me look here.
I'm just looking at all the teams and thinking,
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah, that was yeah.
That's my number one.
I said the Vikings. I would probably have them like in the top 3 or 4. I mean, with Thielen and Diggs, that's pretty damn good. Plus, they brought in Irv Smith, the tight end.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, Philly. They got good guys over there who can catch the ball. I mean, you got Jeffrey, but he's injury prone. You got Deshaun Jackson, but he's so old.
Yeah.
They got the Whiteside. He's been looking great.
Ertz is good. Ertz is good, obviously.
Ertz and God. Yeah. Sure, they got guys over there.
Yeah.
But give me the Vikings. Yeah, give me the Rams.
I'll take Falcons.
Give me the Falcons. Yeah, give me those guys.
Give me Meyer, Cooper, and Michael Gallup.
How about the Saints?
Tampa Bay with Mike Evans and Godwin, who's going to be a beast this year. Godwin's going to take a huge step forward this year.
We got a $5 donation from Hell Lord. Get ready for this, Chris. He said, I'll pay for a 5-star 5-course meal from New Orleans' finest for Sean and Josh. I'll send a couple of New Orleans natives to welcome Chris.
Oh, he said welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome to New Orleans. They're going to show you around. They'll show you a good time. Thank you, Hell Lord.
Jesus.
Hey, at least we're good.
Hey, man, you guys at least get something out of it.
Yeah. But wait, where's Chris at? Wasn't he here? Don't worry, we got some guys taking care of him.
What?
Okay, this shit's good.
This is good food right here.
Got any more?
Yeah.
Andrew says the Bears have no elite wide receivers, so no. No, we don't have that true elite guy. I mean, the closest to that would be Allen Robinson, and we're still waiting for him to take that huge step. Even going back to Jacksonville days.
Back from that injury.
Right. But, we don't have that true elite guy in Chicago, but we have a whole bunch of guys. I mean, I love the wide receiving corps for the Bears going into this year.
Yeah.
We need to depth the tight end now.
You don't need an elite wide receiver. Look at all the elite wide receivers in the league. How many Super Bowls they got combined? Zero. Look at how many Super Bowls Odell Beckham got? How many Super Bowls Julio Jones got? How many Super Bowls DeAndre Hopkins got? How many Super Bowls Antonio Brown got?
Well, Julio should have a Super Bowl. I'm just saying.
But
that's another wide receiver course I forgot to mention.
Who?
The Browns.
No, I said it.
Oh, you did?
I said Odell
okay.
and Jarvis.
Oh, yeah.
That's what
And Njoku, too.
Yeah. Those you gotta throw them in there. And Odell and Jarvis probably one of the best overall hands in the NFL.
But,
those two.
No, you're right, man. You're right. Well, those teams with those great wide receiving corps, they don't win shit.
Nope.
Yeah.
Julio should have.
He should have. He should have. The New England Patriots. The New England Patriots outside of the year with Randy Moss, and Gronk was very good, but outside of the year with Randy Moss, they never had these unbelievable wide receivers. Wes Welker was nothing before Tom Brady. Julian Edelman would be nothing without Tom Brady.
They didn't really have anything.
That year in 2017, where they could have went perfect, when they had Randy Moss, and they were just lighting the league on fire.
Yep.
They didn't win a damn thing.
Nope.
They lost one game that entire year to your Giants.
You know who we forgot to mention?
Who?
The Houston Texans.
Oh, fuck! The Texans!
Fuller's got to stay healthy. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But
Fuller.
Will Fuller stays healthy. D-Hop, Will Fuller, and Kuti are... I love Will Fuller. I think he could be he could put up receiver one numbers in fantasy.
He will.
With the yardage
when he's healthy.
And
yeah. When he's healthy, he will.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I try to get him almost every league. I'm praying.
Hell yeah, man.
No, but yeah, that's true though. You have one of the best receivers of all time in Randy Moss, and Tom Brady has a career year, and you still don't win it, man.
So
that's tough.
Earlier, Chris, you said Buffalo is one of your sleeper teams.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
You think they finished second in the division, possibly?
I think them and the Jets is a coin flip. People forget Bills made the playoffs 2 years ago. They had one of the top 5 defenses in football last year. They added 6 new offensive linemen. Josh Allen, his second year. We all know quarterbacks progress a lot, year 1 to year 2. Cole Beasley was a nice add. They also added another wide receiver. I can't remember off the top of my head, but John Brown. So, yeah, I like a lot of the things the Bills did this year. They still have a really strong defense. I wouldn't be shocked if the Bills – I'm not picking it, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Bills win 10 games. I think that they are in contention to get a wild card spot this year. I'm going to have them around 8 wins. But I think they could win 10. I think they're my sleeper team. One of my sleeper teams.
I can see them in another year being that. I have the Jets more in that division taking that next step. Just because I love Robbie Anderson and Le'Veon Bell.
But, I mean, Adam Gase is the fucking head coach.
Yes, but remember, Adam Gase did have one of those hell of a runs when he was in Miami when he had Jay Ajayi and a good running back. Remember? And he went on a fucking 8-game win streak and made it to the playoffs. So when he has a good running back, I think Adam Gase is better.
I think the Jets and Bills are about the same. I think the Bills, in my opinion, have a better surrounding roster, but I think Darnold's a better quarterback. So, if Darnold really takes a big step up this year, which I think he definitely can, I like Darnold. I would say the Jets will be better, but Darnold has to take that big step up.
Yeah, and I will give. I don't know, Adam Gase is still on the fence for me about being a good coach. But think about in Miami, he really never had a guy like Sam Darnold and Ryan Tannehill, which was always he was never that great of a quarterback, right? So Sam Darnold's on another level to me. Let's see what he could do with an actual quarterback that can actually make every throw on the field, and he has no excuse now. I think. So,
I like Darnold.
What do you think about?
What is that?
What do you think about Le'Veon Bell, man?
Le'Veon, well, again, I drafted him in our league. Le'Veon Bell won't be as efficient. He's not. There's no way. I mean, he's going from one of the best, maybe the best offensive line to an average at best. The Jets were 25th last year per PFF. I know they added some pieces there in free agency. So I think he's going to get a high usage rate. He may get more touches than any running back in football this year. He's going to get a ton of touches. He's going to be probably their best wide receiver along with their best running back. I think he'll do good, but not as efficient as he's been in the past.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fair to say. That's fair to say. But yeah, I mean, dude, at some point in the AFC East, someone's got to take that next big step.
Come on, Jets,
and dethrone the Patriots, because the only time I can remember the Patriots losing that division, what was this, back in 2012, 13, when Tom Brady got hurt?
Well, the Dolphins.
The Dolphins won.
With the Wildcat.
Yeah.
The Wildcat that year with under Sperano. They won 11-5.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Sperano.
Yeah, the Wildcat, and then everybody saw the Wildcat for 1 year, and then it was done.
Yeah.
NFL. Totally forgot about that, yeah. Yeah, it's got, which team is that going to be? I'd say, if anything, it's going to be the Jets. But
I don't think anybody's doing it this year. And they're going to win that this year.
Oh, yeah.
The Bills?
Yeah.
I mean, that defense is pretty fucking good.
Jets and Bills have a decent defense. It's just the offense is what question. Like, offensive lines are really questionable.
Yeah.
For both teams, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Bills have the best. Bills have the best defense in that division. The Bills have the best defense in that division.
I think they were 2, 3.
What?
Bills.
Last year?
Yeah. What were they ranked?
Let me pull it.
Overall defense, like yardage wise, I know turnovers and stuff.
Oh, I think they were ranked second.
They were second,
third?
right? And weren't y'all third?
Yeah.
Defense last year were, I believe, were the Ravens, the Bears, and the Bills.
Yeah, y'all were top 3, and I know Cowboys were 4. I just couldn't remember if y'all were 2 or they were 2.
But they were the top 3 for sure.
Yeah, I knew they were top 3, and a lot of people forget about that.
In terms of yards.
Yeah. Turnovers, yo. Well, yeah.
Papa Bichulo Chad says we need a pass rusher.
For who?
He's a Giants fan.
Oh, Giants? Yeah, y'all gave up Olivia Vernon, so.
Dude, Josh Allen, did you see him with the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Yeah.
God damn.
Now you know why I was upset on draft night. But the
everybody say he's a project, but he's raw talent, man.
Man, he was getting penetration.
And I'm glad he's not in the NFC East.
I actually think the Giants could have a decent pass rush this year. Not great, but decent. Marcus Golden was a good pickup by them, I think. We'll have to wait and see, but they definitely need to. Yeah, they definitely need to sign or draft a pass rusher early in next year's draft next year.
The only thing that sucks is it might not look that good because, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a Cowboy, but Cowboys have a great offensive line. Eagles have a pretty damn good, solid offensive line themselves. So it's like y'all are going to be facing some good offensive line. Even the Redskins, well, unless one's gone, they have a decent offensive line.
They have a good offensive line.
Well, they're not, but the division has some good offensive line. So it might not look good in the divisional games, but yeah, y'all could probably make some headway with other teams, right?
Yeah.
So you can't just off of.
Yeah, the Giants' defense this year is going to struggle, if I'm being completely honest. Last year they were horrible. They'll probably still not be great this year. They're kind of they're in a rebuild mode. They're young. They have some young talented players, but they're not ready yet. I think they're a year or 2 away from having an above average defense, but I think they will soon.
I think y'all are on the right path. I hate to say it, but yeah, y'all on the right path.
Wow, we got a $10 donation from Hellord247.
I love you, buddy.
Says my sleeper is Denver. I think they'll have a great defense with a solid offense. They'll finish second in the West. The Chargers will disappoint as always and go 8-8. Denver with the wild card will make the wild card with 9 wins.
See, honestly, I'm kind of feeling that's a possibility.
Isn't that what I was saying all summer?
Isn't
that what I was saying all summer?
I can't pick the Chargers to really take that down, go down 8-8. But yeah, I mean, you both were saying like Denver should have a great defense. Joe Flacco's a quarterback.
No. I don't believe in Denver. I'm sorry. Denver.
I expect another donation coming soon, and it's going to be a very, very angry.
Denver fooled me last year. They were my pick last year for my sleeper. I picked them a year too early, and I get why people like the defense with the 2 pass rushers, of course. I don't believe in Joe Flacco. I don't believe in that team. I know they got some nice, talented young wide receivers. If they were in another division, maybe. The West, you got 2 top, upper echelon teams. They got to play them 4 games. They'll be lucky to win one of those 4. Don't see it. I don't understand. I'm not a big Charger guy, but how could you take the Chargers over the Broncos? The Broncos over the Chargers rather. I don't see it.
No, I think people are sleeping on the Denver Broncos a little bit.
Yep.
And Hellord, in that regard, I do agree. But I don't think they're going to be second in the division.
No.
It's between the Chargers and the Chiefs.
Yes.
But, Denver Broncos, I think they are getting slept on quite a bit, man. They do have a great fucking defense. I do think Vic Fangio is going to be a great head coach for them, that coaching staff they have. And as far as the offense goes, the offensive line is still a work in progress. And Joe Flacco, I understand. Now, I understand your frustrations with Joe Flacco and why he can't get them some wins.
Yep.
But they got a great fucking running game over there, Chris.
Let me get this straight, Josh. And I haven't seen your win production video for the Broncos yet, but I'm assuming you had the Chargers around, 10, 11, 12 wins. You had the Chiefs probably around there. You had the Raiders at 8. So you couldn't have had the Broncos that high.
No. But I think they can potentially be a pretty good team, man. Better than what people think.
All right, fair enough.
Now, I want to throw this out there. Like, people kind of sleep on – the reason I think people sleep on Denver because they look at how the points scored against the defense and how bad they played. But I want also people to realize that defense wasn't as bad as people think last year because that offense was just that bad. Case Keenum, they were so atrocious. They couldn't – and this is why I tell people maintaining drives is key. They put that defense in such bad positions, turnover after turnover for Case Keenum. I saw him throwing picks left and right. They couldn't maintain drives. That defense was a lot better than people think. Like, I feel bad for Denver because I feel like they just got the short end of the stick right there. You know what I mean? But I think they're better than people think defensively. They have Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, and Chris Harris is a great defensive back. Like, they have.
Well, you could argue that that's the best pass dynamic duo in the league. I mean, if Chubb takes an even bigger step forward this year, I mean that's the strength of that team. I'll make no mistake about it. And if the game is close, they always have a chance because of that pass rush. I'll say that about that team. I wouldn't sleep on them. They could beat anybody. I just don't see them being able to string together more than 7 wins this year because of the division they play in. And I don't believe in Joe Flacco.
I think Joe Flacco has a little bit something to prove. So, and this guy can make every throw, right? If he's got a chip on his shoulder a little bit.
Yeah, he's got a strong arm.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Now we got a final donation from Zach Masses. Bears will win the Super Bowl against the Pats to end Tom Brady's career. Now, I would love that scenario because we've never beaten Tom Brady. Tom Brady's always beaten the Chicago Bears. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, we've never beaten Tom Brady. So I would love to finally get at least that last opportunity to beat Tom Brady. We're not playing them this regular season. Mm-hmm. I would love that. But I don't think the Patriots are going to the Super Bowl. I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl. Don't got them in there.
This should be you're predicting your Bears to beat the Giants too, right?
Oh, we're going to kill the Giants.
Because if that was the case...
He's probably not in the Super Bowl.
Well, no, not in the Super Bowl. We can't play in the Super Bowl. But if you would have beat the Giants and beat the Patriots, this would be a year first for you all over because you never beat the Giants either. Seems like every time we play you guys, we beat you guys.
Well, we're going to make up for that this coming up season. Like I said, we're going to be celebrating a club dub at halftime.
Whoa.
It's going to get us. I'm thinking we're going to put up like 30 points.
30 points in the first half?
We can. Hell yeah, we can.
Wow.
I'd say a pick six or a fumble recovery for a touchdown.
That's kind of like what we did to you last year with Ogletree on the goal line, first play.
Last year was a fluke. Last year, that will never happen again. Not in Chicago. Fuck that. I still can't believe that happened. I can't believe that was real life last year when we lost to your Giants. That was the most pissed off I've been in years. Is that a lie?
No, it's not. This is the first time I felt like I was going to die if I said a word to him. I felt like he was going to grab the steering wheel and crash. That game is done. It's over with. This year's a whole new year. And Chris, let me tell you something. We are going to be at Club Dub by halftime. It's going to be over.
I like that you think it's a I like that the whole league seems to be pissing on the Giants, and that's the way I like it. That's the way I like it as a Giants fan. 2 years ago, 2 years ago we were predicted to win the division. We go 3-13. I want to be the team that everybody thinks that it's going to win 3 games. Sleep on us. We'll see what happens come game time.
All right. Absolutely.
We do have a donation. I just wanted to sit back after that comment. I knew
we're not going to sleep on y'all. We're going to hibernate. We're going to say bye-bye to the Giants for a long time.
Oh, we do have a $2 donation from Hell Lord. Chris, you're a Giants fan, so your opinion is irrelevant. I agree with that. Wow. And then another $2, Josh, from Zach Moss again. Mass? I don't know. Says, yeah, we will beat the Giants. Bear something.
No, if I'm being completely honest, I think the Bears are going to win that game. But if you look at the history, the Bears do struggle with the Giants. That's all I'm going to point at.
Yeah, for some reason, for whatever reason, they have.
Mm-hmm.
We have.
Yeah.
Guys, let's see, the Colts are a sleeper team since Landry Day.
Yeah, sure.
A sleeper team?
Yeah, sure.
They went from being a championship contending team to a sleeper now.
I actually agree with that statement, though. I think they are kind of a sleeper team, the Colts.
I wouldn't put them. I had them. I wouldn't want to take a spot for them.
You're right, because there are a lot of people, Chris, who just completely wrote off the Colts as soon as that news broke.
Yeah.
Done. And then they're not going to be. They're not going to be.
I don't think they'll make the playoffs or be competing for that division.
Goat says Eagles 16-0.
19-0.
Oh, Dwayne Aldridge said that?
No, correction. 19-0.
19-0.
Yeah.
So if they won a Super Bowl and they were eating horse shit, celebrating it, what do you think they're going to do when they go 19-0 and they win the Super Bowl?
Well, they're going to go 19-0 10 years in a row. So I can't imagine what the...
You ever watch that movie, The Human Centipede?
Yeah.
They're all just going to line up around the city of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
They're going to be shitting each other's mouths.
That's disgusting.
That's what they're going to be doing.
I haven't actually seen that movie, but I know what you're talking about. The Human Centipede. I've seen it and it just looked too weird for me. So
They're all
they're like
attached to each other, ass and mouth.
Yes. I refuse to watch that because I just felt like that was disgusting.
Refund says, Josh, Sean, and Chris, the Eagles hate from all y'all is hilarious, though. The Eagles are a great team. Don't kid yourselves. They have good talent across the roster, a great O-line, good wide receiving core, good D-line, and good running back core. When did we ever say that wasn't the case?
Oh, no, I'm not. I admit you guys have a good team. I'm agreeing with you guys. All I hear from Eagles fans, you guys are going to go win the Super Bowl, so I'm agreeing with it. I'm at 19-0, guys. 19-0.
Me and Josh both have said that we think the Eagles are definitely one of the best teams in the NFC, as all Carson wants to say something. And it's going to be between the Cowboys and the Eagles, and even Chris has said that for the division.
Yeah.
Now, we're just giving y'all shit because y'all think y'all are 16-0 or going perfect or 19-0. That's what we're giving y'all shit about. But we still think y'all are.
19-0, and they're going to shit each other's mouths.
Yeah.
No, if I'm being honest, Cowboys are going to win that division, Eagles fans. And I'm a Giants fan. I hate both you guys equally. Cowboys are going to win that division.
I agree.
Even without Zeke?
No, they need Zeke. I'm projecting that Zeke plays. I'm projecting that Zeke.
Without Zeke, we don't win the division, but with Zeke, I think we do.
LA loses. I bet Aaron Donald breaks through and a defensive player wins the MVP. The Rams fans say Giants beat the Bears and Cowboys at least once and go 10-6.
I talk to LA Lou all the time. He likes the Giants this year. He thinks they're a 10-16.
Oh. Well, he could keep liking them. And
I think that would be fucking awesome to see a defensive player win the MVP.
I want that to happen. I want that. I want something other than a quarterback. I don't give a shit if it's a running back or a defensive player, receiver. Just give me something different.
Defensive players that could win the MVP, of course, Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say Derwin James until he got hurt.
Any pass rusher. Myles Garrett. Khalil Mack.
Yeah. Von Miller.
D-Law.
Why
are you so hesitant?
D-Law.
He's one of the best in the game. You got to give him some kind of credit.
I'm going to give you a sleeper. I'm going to give you a sleeper.
What's that?
I'm going to give you a sleeper for MVP. Not defense.
Okay.
It's an offensive player. Everybody thinks quarterbacks. And I'm not picking the Giants to make the playoffs, but if the Giants ever did, say they have a magical year and go 9-7, Saquon Barkley's a sleeper for MVP. Because if they're going to make the playoffs, Barkley's going to have a 2,000-yard season. So that would be my sleeper. A non-quarterback sleeper.
Yeah, I said the same thing too about Zeke.
That.
If Zeke has a big year like that, I would love to see a running back. I don't give a shit who it is. I just want to see a running back win it.
I could see that, Chris. Yeah.
I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs. Everything would have to break right, but
they snuffed AP for that fucking MVP that year where he went for 2,000 yards.
Didn't he win it that year?
They did not do that shit again.
I thought he won it that year.
No, Peyton Manning won it.
I thought Peterson won an MVP. No?
Not that year. Not that year.
Okay.
That year that he broke the 2,000 yards, everybody thought it was going to be him, but Peyton won it, if I recall correct. Josh is gonna Google.
Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I swear I remember that happening. Yeah, it was AP. I think he won it the year after when he didn't hit 2,000 yards.
Peterson amassed 2,314 all-purpose yards from scrimmage in 2012, tying Marcus Allen for 8th highest total ever. For his efforts, he received the NFL MVP award.
I thought it was
and Offensive Player of the Year in 2012.
Maybe it was the year before that that they were saying he should have won it.
You owe me a jersey.
What? I didn't make no sense.
Yeah, I just agreed on it.
A color
Okay, so he did.
Barkley.
What year was it that they said that he should have won it? I thought it was the year he went for 2,000 yards.
Huh.
Was that the 2,000 yards rushing, or you said 23 all-purpose? So
all-purpose. That was all-purpose.
That was the year we had 2,000 yards rushing. It was the year he had 2,000 yards rushing.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I was wrong. Now, what year was that shit? What year was it? AP snuff.
You got to go on NFLshop.com.
I am not.
Get the color Barkley jersey. Send it to New York, New York. There you go.
Thank you.
Buy him a Wins jersey. Oh shit! you should just do that. Just send him a Wins jersey. Victor says, Josh, please answer my question. Do you think the Lakers are going to be good this year, adding Dwight Howard in the lineup? Ugh.
Is the Pope Catholic? Of course the Lakers are going to be good this year.
Hey, Dwight Howard, though, I mean...
Well, I don't know if Dwight Howard's going to be good, but the Lakers are going to be good.
Yeah, he's a body. He's a body over there. I mean, what is he at this point in his career? Now, last time he was there, it didn't work out well, and that wasn't when he was really in his prime.
Yeah.
But they definitely need some bodies over there. So Chad says, okay, salty Eagles fan Dwayne Aldridge ain't winning the division. So Chris says the Cowboys with Zeke are winning the division.
With Zeke.
I think it's a two-way race between the Eagles and the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I think I have to give the slight edge to Eagles right now.
Why?
I think
you have better defense.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think you guys have more talented defense right now, but they've been putting that shit together this past season. I don't know. They have a lot of depth too.
We got better.
They do have a lot of depth. That's one thing I'll say about the Eagles. They probably have the most depth in the league. I will say that.
Right.
But it doesn't mean they have the best talent.
They don't have DeMarcus.
I agree with you, Sean. I think the Cowboys are stronger where it matters. I think they have the stronger defense. I think they have the stronger offensive line. I think they have the best playmaker in Zeke Elliott. I would give the Cowboys a slight edge if Zeke is playing. That's the biggest.
What? Yeah, we're assuming Zeke's playing.
Not to mention,
their offensive line is one of the best themselves.
We're better.
But they got Carson Wentz.
We have Dak Prescott.
Whoa, Josh. Now let's be fair.
Tell me Dak is better than Carson Wentz.
No, he's not.
He's durable, but we're assuming everyone's healthy. We're assuming Zeke plays. That's what we're assuming right now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Sean, if we're going off durability, then the Giants should win the Super Bowl because Eli Manning's never missed a start.
Actually, he has.
Yeah, because he was forced to.
He's an actual pedophile coach.
No, but yeah, man, it's a two-way race. It's gonna be tough, but I'm gonna go with the Eagles because Carson Wentz, that dude could be an MVP.
But Dak
could be
Prescott
MVP
can
of
be
this league.
MVP too. I'm telling you, this year he's gonna be MVP candidate. He's not gonna win it.
Oh, no. Dak Prescott is not an MVP candidate. He is a game manager. And that's what he should be.
His rookie year is
here's the MVP
How
candidates.
can he not be if he's gotten better?
Here's the MVP candidates. Carson Wentz. I would throw Baker Mayfield in.
No, I wouldn't throw Baker.
I would throw Baker Mayfield in. Why not?
Because look, without Odell and Jarvis, he looked horrible.
But he has them.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He looked trash without him. Take him out of the game.
Pat Mahomes. Aaron Rodgers. There you go. What?
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. I'm gonna say
Jacoby Brissett.
All right. Carson Wentz, Patty Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, and Dak. Those are my 5 MVP candidates this year.
Oh, I can't put that in there. I can't.
That's not more MVP candidate than Dak Prescott.
He was an MVP candidate his rookie year.
This is 2019.
Rookie year. He's gotten better.
This is 2019. This is 2019, and we got Deshaun Watson.
If there's anybody,
Mahomes now. He's not getting in these races with these guys.
If there's anybody who's winning the MVP for the Dallas Cowboys, it's Zeke. It's not Dak. If there's anybody, it would be Zeke.
This year, it will be Dak.
We'll see. How about Matt Ryan? Sleeper candidate there for MVP.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with
How
that.
about Drew Brees?
I'm fine with that.
He could. He could
won
be in there.
before.
You know, he could. Just mark my words.
No fucking way, Dak's even in that conversation.
And when he is in that conversation, what y'all.
Hey, let's make a jersey. Let's make a jersey bet right now. I will bet you anything you want that Dak does not finish in the top 8 for MVP this year.
I already got a fucking Dak jersey.
Huh?
What jersey do I want? See, I don't know what jersey I want right now because so many players might be leaving. We'll get back to that. We'll get back to that. Okay.
We'll get back to it.
But if we win,
yes.
Here's what I want.
Whoa, no.
Here's what I want.
No.
I want
I'm not
you.
sure if I want to make this bet now.
Here's what I want.
Because then I'm fucked. I'm buying y'all 2 things compared to me getting 1?
This is what I want when we win. Whoever becomes MVP, we're going to buy that jersey. You're going to wear it on camera, and you're going to say, my name is Sean, and I am wrong. I was wrong about Dak Prescott being an MVP candidate. And then we're going to give it away to we're going to do a giveaway for the jersey.
I like that. I like that. So it's going to be a Saquon Barkley jersey.
Jesus Christ.
He's going to be MVP.
That's the biggest hot take this summer.
I've mentioned it already multiple times.
Yes, and it's the biggest hot take on the sports.
I think he's going to be in that conversation.
I don't even think he knows how to speak the MVP language. He will not be in the conversation.
He's already spoken it.
Here's the Cowboys did not improve. They added Randall Cobb, but lost Beasley. They added Quinn, drafted a few players, and they have a question mark at offensive coordinator. How do they? They did not get better, he says.
Well, Travis Frederick.
Did not get better?
Frederick did not get better.
How did we not get better? We're getting Travis Frederick back, okay? Yeah. Robert Quinn, how is he not good? He actually had good years over there in Miami. They wasted his years away, okay? Randall Cobb is an upgrade to Cole Beasley.
I don't know about that.
No, I guarantee that. Randall Cobb has a better repertoire of routes that he can run. Cole Beasley was only a cutting inside route or outside route. He couldn't run the seam route. He got murdered. He fumbled. He dropped the ball.
No, Sean. How are you gonna on one hand bash Wentz for being injury prone and then back up Randall Cobb, who's literally a walking casket?
I'm not saying Randall Cobb is not injury prone. I never said that. I'm saying he's a better talent than Cole Beasley.
I mean, maybe. But I'd rather have Cole Beasley.
He's a better talent than Cole Beasley, hands down. And first, we're going to get better with Travis Frederick alone is going to make that whole offense a lot better. Whole lot better. Michael Gallup going to his 2nd year.
I do like Gallup.
Cooper having a whole offseason with the Cowboys and with Dak. He didn't have any time to prepare with Dak. And look at their connection.
That's a good point you bring up with Cooper. That's a very good point you bring up with Cooper.
How does this team not get better? Xavier Woods has looked a lot better. Xavier Woods has looked amazing. Donovan Wilson, the rookie we drafted, like 6th round, that free safety, out of every player in the preseason, he's one of the best players rated. 3 times he's had the ball thrown to him, he's gotten 2 interceptions. Pro Football Focus, I know they're shitty, but he's been the highest rated rookie in the preseason to them.
Huh. Interesting stuff.
And even DDP, who we know follows Dallas religiously, he thinks he'll probably be the starter next year. But he'll overtake Jeff Heath, if not by this year, next year.
And you know what's going to happen after all this NFC East talk? Redskins are going to win the division.
Shit. Man, if that happens, that will blow my mind. Okay? That will blow my mind, and I will literally lose my shit.
Dwayne Haskins, Rookie of the Year. Darius Geis,
yes.
Comeback Player of the Year, even though he didn't actually play last year. But, man, yeah, that'd be fucking true. Hail Lord with the $2 donation says, sorry, Chris, started talking, so I went and got cereal. He says, sorry, Chris, I started talking, so he went to go get some cereal. Who believes what EDP has to say? Not EDP, DDP.
Apparently they don't know who DDP is. DDP, the Dallas prospect. He's a great guy, Dallas YouTuber, and he actually he wrote an article for Clutch. Did you get that? Did he text you that? he finally wrote an article for
Clutch.
For Clutch, and they paid him for it. He's a great sports writer.
Awesome.
Hey, Zach Smith. I like the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm a Chiefs fan. I like Patrick Mahomes, Josh and Sean. You guys are amazing. I enjoy your shows. Well, thank you, Zach Smith.
Thank you, buddy.
Hey, look, man.
Yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs, they're looking to, take that next step further. So go beyond the AFC Championship game and go into the Super Bowl. We'll see if that happens, though.
Yeah.
We'll see if that happens.
They were my pick last year. I'm starting to lean towards them again.
Yeah, dude, that last preseason game against the 49ers, man, Damian Williams, he's looking good. He had that huge play. What was that, 62 yards to the house?
Yep.
Running back by committee, my ass.
Yeah, he's going to be
my ass.
Yeah.
We'll see. You hope so, because you got him on fantasy.
I do.
I got him in our league. I hope he takes off. I got him in our league.
He's a fantasy breakout player this year. Absolutely. Gnome says Michael Thomas for MVP. Wide receiver win MVP?
Like I said, I would love anything besides quarterback. I'll take anything besides quarterback.
What was the last wide receiver to win MVP?
I think Jerry Rice won.
Was it Jerry Rice?
I think
Jerry Rice.
Calvin,
I think we had that trivia question.
If there was a year it could have happened, it would have been, Randy Moss, obviously the year he caught the record-breaking touchdowns, but of course Brady probably, I think, won it because of what he threw. But Calvin Johnson, if there was a year it could have happened, it would have been that year had the Lions made the playoffs. He caught for almost 2,000 yards, but amazingly only had 4 touchdowns.
Yeah. I honestly, I'm really excited for this NFL season, man. I think this is a great year for a lot of teams. There's a lot of up-and-coming teams, a lot of young teams, guys that need to prove themselves, like a Dak, like a Carson Wentz, and just talking about NFC East, Trubisky, Mariota, Winston. It's going to be interesting to see which guy takes that step and proves everybody wrong, Wentz is just because of his injuries, but not really talent-wise, but injuries. So
yeah, it's gonna be. It's a lot of. There's always storylines in the NFL. It's always the football is the one sport where you don't even. I'm a Giants fan. I can watch any two teams and really enjoy the sport. Where it's not really like that with any other sport for me.
Yep, exactly. Jim Patsloo says Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, and Lynn Swann, 3 best receivers ever. I
can't put Lynn Swann up that high.
See, it's tough.
He's
tough
great, but I mean, you still got Terrell Owens, you've got Marvin Harrison, Calvin Johnson, Larry Fitzgerald.
Calvin's up there.
Larry Fitzgerald's got to be up there too.
Ooh, yeah, Larry.
Sure.
Yeah, I think Calvin Johnson would have had so much better stats if he wasn't on the fucking Lions. Mm-hmm. It's like that. It's like the fucking Barry Sanders argument. Like this guy would have been a monster if he wasn't on the fucking Lions, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I'd probably put like you said, Calvin Johnson up there.
Michael Irvin's another one. He was a good receiver.
Yeah, people either love Michael Irvin or hate him.
Yeah.
But this guy he.
Did you see his passionate speech he had at Miami University?
I didn't hear it. I saw it and I was like, damn, because he's from the U, man. He's passionate, man. I didn't hear what he said, but
he was just going crazy.
Oh, he's a crazy motherfucker,
yeah.
Man. That's what I like about him, though. Like, man, he's crazy, but he's just enjoying it, man. He's loving life after he got off cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but Chris, I think we're about to wrap this up here. So, unless you got something else you want to mention, talk about?
No, man. As always, I had a great time on here. I want to thank Hellord for being such a nice guy, and I want to thank you guys for having me on the channel. Love doing this show every week, and looking forward to coming down there sooner than later and getting to do this all the time with you guys. And I had a blast with you guys today. I had a blast.
Absolutely, man. It's always great, man. Just talking football and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm just done. I'm just done with all the speculations
and the preseason,
and all these non-football storylines that's going on, helmets and feet and all this shit. I just can't wait for the fucking season to start. You know what I mean?
Let's get it going, Josh. A week from Thursday.
Oh, can't wait. The Bears gonna beat the Packers.
We gotta watch your Bears.
Hell yeah.
Beat the Packers.
That's right. Before we leave, we got a donation though.
$2 from LA Lou says Sean has to wear Donald's 99 when he wins MVP.
He will.
I will, man. You know what? I'll take it, man. Donald, I like Donald though. By the way, I hope he wins MVP.
That's the bet, guys. If Dak Prescott is not an MVP candidate, Whoever wins the MVP, he will have to buy the jersey.
But what if Dak is in that conversation?
We're gonna buy you a jersey, but you didn't know what jersey you want.
I don't know what jersey I want. That's right. That's true.
Yeah.
I gotta think back because like I want Byron Jones because I want a defensive back because I play DB, but he might not resign. So I
you
don't
can
know.
just get you a Tom Landry hat or something. I don't know. But if he loses, he'll have to buy the jersey of the MVP who wins, and he'll have to admit he's wrong on camera, and then we're gonna give away that jersey. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight.
Yes.
Thank you for all the donations. Hell Lord, thank
Love
you,
you, buddy.
Zach. LA Lou, we appreciate that as well, man. You guys, make sure you guys smack that like button before we head out. And before we head out, go subscribe to the Entertainah Talking Sports. Once again, the link's in the description box down below. Go subscribe to them. Tons of content coming out for Chris. He's been busy, man, over there. He's been kicking ass all fucking year long, especially this off season.
Yep.
So go subscribe to him. The NFL season, it starts a week from Thursday. Can't wait. Guys, you guys are awesome. And we'll see ya later.
Bye. Bye.